two. Welcome. Another episode of Good Dad Bad Son with your favorite cousins. We're back at it again tonight. Got a special guest. Well, he ain't special no more. Kurt, where you go, man? This what we be talking about. Well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is part two of our Father's Day special.
Nigga borderline dementia. He forgot he was on he was on the
I
show.
don't know. I don't know how that should do it.
All right, we live anyway. Don't worry about it.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. You see how small your box is, Bert?
Yeah, crazy.
How you doing?
Hey guys,
What up, Nadia?
What's
what's
happening?
good? How are you?
Very nice.
How's everybody doing?
We don't know yet. We don't know. We still trying to figure it out, Nadia. I ain't gonna lie to you. You doing all right though?
I'm hanging, man. A day is a day.
Good.
Yeah.
Kurt, what you did for Father's Day, man? Your kids made you breakfast and all that good stuff.
Hell no.
I know
I
kids
went.
don't like her, man.
He short every chance he get.
His kids don't
Oh,
like her.
no, but we went skating last night.
Oh.
Oh, that's why you hurting today.
That's all right.
Yeah, and
You did more than what I did.
What did you do? Sleep? Get some
I
rest?
ain't do nothing. I worked in the morning and worked at night. Went to the park, chilled, slept during the day, then went to the park, chilled at the park for a minute, then went back to work.
Typical dad day.
Yeah, my dad, he got some good rest. We were supposed to go out to eat, but he ended up just not feeling good. I did go to church though, so that was cool.
Okay.
Did do that.
Do church be packed on Father's Day like it do on Mother's Day?
Nope.
You can't compare nothing to Mother's Day. Mother's Day is the
Second
second
to
most,
Christmas, right?
yeah, second most celebrated holiday. Christmas
Yeah.
number one. Father's Day is number 20.
That's what they say. Halloween before us.
Halloween number
We
6.
need more. We need more hype for Father's Day, y'all. Y'all need to start showing some more love.
Al Sadiq said them
Yeah, he said Arbor
motherfuckers.
Day before us.
They don't even know what Arbor Day is. They said
Dang.
he
He
said
was here too. We missed it, bro. He was at the Fox Saturday.
he alright. I don't like him that much.
You ain't gonna see him.
He alright though. Um, but yeah, I ain't. Bert, what you did for Father's Day, man?
King B.
Must be on mute. Yeah, froze up.
No.
But I know. Bert father got a street named after him.
He was honored
oh,
Really?
back in
Yeah, he was
Jersey.
honored on Father's Day. That was yeah, that was Sunday with
Yeah.
the mayor and stuff. So they named the street after him. Bert father just died. That's it right there. Albert Still Mills. Where his father was a boxer.
Oh, that's amazing.
And Still Mills just passed like 2 months ago, 3 months ago. Um, yeah, so they honor him with Albert Still Mills way. Still Mills was his boxing.
That's kind of dope, bro. They gonna name a street after you when you get up out of here?
No.
Nope.
Don't say that. It could happen. You said never,
That
never,
ain't the
never,
path
never.
you took.
Nah.
I'm crying.
Kurt, you getting a street named after you out there in the Lou?
that
No.
not. Oh no. Oh
No.
no. Only
Nadia, we
thing
gonna
that
hope.
we
We gonna hope for
see
you.
out there is
Yeah.
civic police and politics.
Yeah, that's something like one. Not to, you could count how many people have streets named after them, man.
Y'all
You
got a
know,
Christopher Wallace joint up there, right? In your hood?
they probably do.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But
If they giving Christopher Columbus one, they can give somebody else some. that
Christopher
that
Columbus got a street. I never heard of Christopher Columbus Street
You
though.
notice
I
that
think
in
I
like
wouldn't
every
be
city,
surprised if he did.
yeah, I think he does have one, or he
Never
did.
heard of him. We trying to wait for Bert to
every
come back.
city in America, they have Martin Luther King, a Martin Luther King Street, and it's always in the ghetto.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
Malcolm X Boulevard, Martin Luther King
MLK
Drive.
is always oh yeah.
Yeah,
Malcolm X joints be in the hood too.
yeah, hell yeah, Malcolm X Boulevard. Yep, especially in New York.
Always in the ghetto. It's in the rundown area.
I'm gonna see if Bert able to come back and share his story about Father's Day with us
Okay.
because it's
It's not always a celebration, huh?
it's a it's a
Mm.
it's a powerful story, man. Yeah.
Couldn't figure it out.
Nah, at least we can hear you now, bro.
All right.
Yeah. But we was trying to share. I want you to share your Father's Day. How Father's Day been for you? Um, since a teenager, and the things you went through. Because people take things for granted, any kind of day. And I just think it's amazing from what it was for you earlier in your life and what it became. That's just like that's God, bro. For real, for real.
Word up. For real. So
So
quick story, man. 2001, my brother, I called my brother. Remember when the Nextel phones was out?
yeah, yeah. That
So
was that was 2001. 2000.
2001, bro. I'm
Yep.
chirping him. Not getting no response. Like, damn, where Malcolm at? So I hit my pops. He like, yo, Malcolm going to his girlfriend crib. He'd be going for the weekend. I'm like, all right, bet. So I don't call that nigga until Sunday. I'm like, yo, I ain't. It's not likely not to hear from him. Like this weird. So I'm blowing him up. No answer, bro. My man calls me and said, yo, your brother left a box on the back of the car. If he was doing AAU. He was like, he left a box on the back of the car, man. You might want to come see what this is. I'm like, yo, I'm over there. I'm on the way. So we go over there, bro. Raining, it's raining and shit. I'm like, damn, why would he leave a box on the back of the car? Like, that's weird. Nigga, we knocking on the door, so we hear music in the crib, and we like, yo, something going on. We hear this music, but we can't. They don't hear nothing. So my aunt goes around the back door, bro. She like the door open. So I'm like, you can't go in there. You got to get a warrant or whatever. You can't go because she a cop at this time. So I'm like, you just can't go in that man's house. She like, nah, I'm going in. And she go up in that joint. Brother laying there, my man laying there. My man gets shot dead in the head. He just shit laying out. So he must have threw up when it happened because like the throw up was hard on his face, bro. So he was so like when we end up doing the research on it, they end up getting killed on Friday, and we found him on Sunday. So yeah, bro, that joint was like crazy.
On
So once
Father's Day.
on Father's Day, this is that Sunday. So this is Father's Day Sunday 2001. So make a long story short, fast forward, you know what I mean? That really that whole process just like every time Father's Day came around, that shit was just like aggravating to me. I'm like, man, I don't want to deal with this shit. But we kept doing the free haircuts and I was doing things in his name, but that shit still didn't feel the same. You know what I mean? Like, yo, dad, this shit don't feel right. Yo, it was like a spooky weekend for me. So maybe some years went by, I end up, getting over it. So when they called me, when Pops passed away 3 months ago, they end up calling me saying, yo, we want to honor your Pops street name or whatever. And we gonna do it on Father's Day. So, which was last weekend. So it was like a bittersweet moment for me because I'm like, damn, every time Father's Day come around, I'm thinking of this bullshit that happened. But now when they come around, the street name is on, they end up giving us the street name on his Father's Day. So it gave us a new meaning to that Father's Day, man. So yeah, man, that's how that thing went, bro. Word up. It's a wild time in my life, bro. But it made me who I am today, you know what I mean? Like, word up.
Yeah, that's wild, man. I don't, man. Listen, how is your father taking it every Father's Day from that point
Uh,
on?
in the beginning it was hard, you know what I mean? But as the time went on, it got better. He started the Fathers Against Guns. So we was doing that, in remembrance of my brother name. We was doing the book bags, free haircuts, and all that. So that was my way. Both of us, that was our way of kind of like dealing with it, like doing things in his name. that's what kind of led up to, you know, this whole thing now.
And this is back in Jersey, Plainfield, Jersey to be exact.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
word up.
yeah. That got to be tough. And for you guys to actually walking in, discover that yourselves. You know what I'm saying? It's not like y'all got a phone call. Y'all walked in there and saw that for yourselves. Man, that got to be a
Yeah,
horrible feeling every Father's Day. But the blessing about it and the amazing turnaround of it is now that your father, you know what I mean, was honored on Father's Day.
yep.
It's just, I don't want to say it's wild, but it's dope. I think that's dope, man.
Yeah, sorry for your loss, but I'm really happy to hear that they were honored at the end of the day. So new meaning to it for sure.
Yep.
Yeah. So how long you was up there? The mayor and all them came out. The mayor of Plainfield.
Mayor was out there, city, all the city officials, you know what I mean? All the
They
boxing
ain't miss
team,
Still Mill.
yeah, all the boxing team was there. So that corner was where the boxing started at, you know what I mean? So back in like 40s, that building is where boxing started at. So that was another reason why they honor him on that corner, you know what I mean? And now it's, well, you know, King College, right? So King College bought that building, and now it's a trade school. So it was kind of like,
What kind of trade?
it's all a part of King College. So you can get everything done. You can get your
Oh,
hair,
okay.
yeah,
It's like Gwinnett
hair,
Tech. Got a bunch of stuff in
exactly.
there.
It's like Gwinnett Tech, yep.
That's dope.
So
Yeah, that's dope. Yeah, I
yeah, man, that's
appreciate you sharing your story with us, man. Like I
yeah, it's a
said,
real definition from tragedy to triumph, man. That's I can say
that's what it is.
That's
that's what
exactly
it
what it
is.
is.
Yeah, tragedy to triumph. That's dope. Did the mayor and them know y'all situation as far as Father's Day?
He ended up hearing about it because he became the mayor in 2012. So, but he ended up knowing about it. He know what was going on.
Hmm.
Yeah. And it's still unsolved. Like only one dude is caught. It was a total of three people. One dude caught. He never told. So it's, the two dudes are still out there. That joint was 24 years ago. So
And the dude was like a friend of his, right? Which it
yeah,
usually is.
it was a friend of my man that got killed. He let him live with him and everything.
That's the same thing that happened to Jam Master Jay.
Mhm.
It was the dudes that was living in his basement that killed him.
You know.
That he let live with him. Mm,
That's sad.
yeah, but I'm glad you. I wish they would have did it like while he was here. That was dope. You know, that would have been doper too. Like for him to actually see it, that would have been fire. You know what I mean? But yeah, rest in peace, man. Still Mills. Um, that's just something I would never want to live with, bro. You know what I mean? To handle that.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
also too though, I love like the community outreach. What did you guys do in the in between time, like as far as outreach? I know you said you were doing like book bag donations and stuff like that.
Yeah, we did the book bag drive. We did the free haircuts for the kids. We did you know, the blood pressure readings and all that, prostate cancer. So we just touched on a little bit of everything. You know.
That's really dope. Like that's the part that I'm really like proud of to hear because I feel like more than ever, people really need a sense of community. It's a lot of stuff that's been happening in Atlanta on my end. Like a guy recently just jumped off of I think 285 Spaghetti Junction.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm,
yesterday, right?
Um, yeah, man, on Father's Day because he felt
wow.
like nobody cared. So I just feel like it's a very different time. I guess right now we're living in a lot of. I think just like it needs to be more focused on mental health and especially for men, for sure, especially for men, but for everybody.
Yeah, we was talking about that a little bit earlier. Me and Bert and Zah was talking about, these boys being able to go speak to a therapist, a counselor, or something, psychiatrist, or something, somebody that they could talk to other than their parents. You know what I'm saying? Um, I think it helps.
I think people feel like I think there was a stigma, you know what I mean, for a long time about mental health and how you're just supposed to be tough. That's how my dad kind of raised me, even
Yeah,
as a girl. And to a point, I do think you need to have resilience and grit, but I think it's more about also having a good support system And a lot of people don't have that today. You know what I mean? People they can go to, like, sometimes it don't even have to be a mental health specialist, but like an elder or someone you trust, someone that you can go to that's lived life before you, that can give you some clear answers without judging you, but really just trying to give you good hindsight. I feel like a lot of people are lost, especially like my generation, trying to figure it all out.
I think majority of the communities and the black communities in America, that's what's missing. The elders with the knowledge and the wisdom and with the respect. First of all, you gotta be respected. Ain't nobody gonna listen to you if you don't have that respect from the younger generation. They're not gonna listen to you. You know what I'm saying? And most neighborhoods is missing that. Most communities, that's what they're missing. The elders. You know,
Yeah.
the elders. You'll be surprised. The elders be in competition with the younger generation. You
Yeah,
got
it's like still trying to
Right.
act
yeah.
young,
You
but you
got them
like,
out here 50, 60, 70 years
yeah,
old, man. You know, in competition with
the
dude half
youth.
their age. You
Yeah,
know,
like, not to say you can't live the life you want to lead, but it's like sometimes when you hit a certain point, it's like it's about giving more than it's about taking. And I feel like a lot of people don't. I don't know too many people I could look up to and be like, oh, this is a strong role model after the fact.
Bert, you and your brother took up boxing after your dad too, or he ain't let y'all
Nah,
into it.
man, we played basketball, man.
Okay,
Yeah, I ain't do none of that.
you gotta be different for that, man. That's a real man's game.
My mom said she ain't want me to act crazy like him.
Oh, it was her call.
Word up.
but the crazy part was I don't know how growing up, but for the past 10 years or so, Still Mills was chilling. He know what I mean? Still Mills was quiet, you know, laughing and shit, but Still Mills was chilling. He don't
Mm.
come across like them old boxers that done got knocked upside their head too many times and they be wilding and shit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like Kurt.
You- yeah. Uh,
You know what I mean?
Don't do Kurt like that.
Yeah,
But
don't do it. I'm just him. I just matter of fact, I got a situation with my grandbaby. My daughter needs to bring her daughter over here because her daughter's acting out. She ain't listening. She ain't hear nothing. Her daddy ain't in her life, so she might have to come and stay with me boot camp for something.
how old is she?
11.
Take that phone away.
But
I
what?
bet she got a phone.
No, she took her phone. She took
She
all
took
her
it.
toys. This little girl is talking
Good.
back. Just thinks she grown. Okay, so come over here. Let me tell you, it's grown.
Good.
Kids tough, bro. I spoke at the Boys and Girls Club today out in Athens. I thought I had my shit
But
together,
I,
bro.
but I believe in,
They chewed you
Today?
up.
Yeah, this morning thought I had
but
my shit together. They looking at me like,
I believe karma. I think karma is something that's real. Like my daughter was real rebellious when she was young, and so I told her, this is just God testing you to get you to have patience because you got to remember how she was. She didn't want to go to school. She didn't want to listen to nothing. She didn't want to do nothing. She talk back to her mama. I had to come from Atlanta to St. Louis, and jump in her ass. But I was like, you just getting back what you took your time to. You know what I'm saying? You got to
You
be
are
patient.
exactly who you are and your children. Like, people forget how they used to be. And then you get your child and you be like, that's me. That's why I'm
And
like,
you got to be able to say, okay,
yeah.
this is karma, and I have to learn how to deal with it because, you know, like I had to deal with it too. Is she a twin too? She was something else.
I'm,
Yeah.
I was trying to wait on Nora to come through because I know she wanted to. I got some questions about these Egyptian soldiers beating up activists over there and deporting the activists over there in on the Gaza Strip. You know what I
That's
mean?
crazy.
Everybody talking about America. they beating them up and putting them on a plane
Shipping them
and
out.
shipping them out. They beating them up.
After they beat their
Activists peacefully protesting, beating them up, kidnapping them, throwing them on them, and deporting them out the country. They ain't playing. Them other countries ain't playing.
It seems like the people that saying, y'all got to be peaceful. You can't get violent, but they what? Went up into the Democratic uh, lawman's house and kill those people. You
Yeah, that's
know,
one of the topics too. The guy used to work for Tim Walls.
what up,
Amen.
man?
Welcome in.
Yeah, the guy used to work for Tim Walls. Bert, you gonna stick around for a second, or what you gonna do? You gotta head out, cause
Yeah,
I know you gotta
yeah,
get
I'm gonna
up.
lay it down. I'm gonna
Go
lay it
ahead and
down,
lay
man. I
it
was about
down.
to tell y'all, but I'm gonna tune in though. But what I mean, I got to get ready for work in the
I
morning.
already know, bro. You gotta wake up early, man. I'll chop it up with you in the
Hi.
morning.
Appreciate you,
All right,
King
bet.
B.
Is
No
it
doubt.
everybody.
Peace.
All right, peace.
Shaka? Is that
We
how you
got the Democratic lawmakers. That's who you was just talking about, Kurt. Melissa Hortman and her husband was shot and killed by a fake cop at her door. But when you look at the picture of the fake cop at their door, he looked like an alien.
Like,
I would have never opened the door for that nigga, man. Did
Well, you
y'all
no,
see
gotta
him?
give
I didn't
white
even
he
see
supremacy
him.
had a
nationalists.
He
That's
had
what
a
he
it
had,
mask on.
he had a plastic mask on, but he had a police officer's uniform on.
I'm not opening the door for that. But wait till I show y'all.
What up, Jay? I think I just missed your call, bro. My bad.
Also, I was gonna say something to you, Will. I was gonna say congratulations though, still on speaking to the
Man,
kids.
them kids got me back in the. I gotta keep practicing.
Look,
I'm throwing my best stuff at them now. They looking at me like,
practice makes perfect, but I will tell you this though, like I noticed with it because I used to work at a daycare. These kids are really hard to keep attentive, like for sure. It's not always just about the information that they're getting or the presenter,
right.
but they don't have the attention span that I feel like I used to have when I was around that age. That's all I can say.
No, I had to switch up on them real quick. They would, cause I said good morning. I had to say good morning like 4 times, and then like 5 of them finally spoke back. Maybe 25, 26 of them, and
Yeah.
I'm like, good morning. They like, man, get on with your show, man. What
Hey, Charleston White told y'all what he had to do. He had to go nigga.
yeah.
He had to go. He had to go. Ignorant nigga.
They was
Because when
ignoring
he
him
had
when he
the
had the
bow
bow tie.
tie on and the shirt and wasn't cursing and
Right.
was polite and hey y'all don't do that, brother. And
Ignored
this that
him.
and third, they ain't pay him no mind. When he started cursing and went ignorant nigga and started talking crazy, man, that's when you see where he at now. But
Right, and but I put them CPR dummies out and let them practice on.
I know that was
man.
fun.
They was like, oh yeah, now he talking about something.
they want to be. These kids are hands on. You gotta be
Facts.
the kids.
Facts.
Kids want to be hands. Some kids is cool with sitting there and
Yeah.
listening and reading a book and this and that. So most of these kids is hands on, man.
Then
Well, I mean, for
after
sure.
I did it for a couple rounds, I appointed like 2 of them to be like supervisors. Man, they ate that shit up. I was like, all right, I saved the day.
Yeah.
No, for sure. They like having control. It's really like dealing with I don't even know little people. Like they real people for real. They like the power dynamics and stuff. So
What
that's
Jay
cool.
said. And I sent you the picture, Will, when you get a chance.
Oh, Jay was commenting. He tried to call in while King B was on. He said y'all talking
okay.
to a legend, but he just put it in the chat.
Oh,
Keep doing
man.
y'all
Yeah,
thing,
yeah,
talking
yeah,
to the
Jay.
people's champ. King
Yeah.
B.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what's up, Jay.
Johnny in the chat. What up, Johnny? Maine out there. What's good, bro? Who else? Who else?
Pull that picture up, Will, and y'all tell me if y'all would have opened the door for this person. I mean, it's
Oh, you just sent it
hindsight.
to
We
me?
could easily say what we would and wouldn't do, but me personally, I know I'm not opening the door for this image at the front door. Nope.
So what was their position in the government? Like they not the type that got security and all that? The people who got
I
shot?
don't think
Them
so.
senators and stuff don't be having
Yeah,
security like that
they
at their house.
don't.
Oh, yeah, they're
No.
state senators.
A judge might, you know what I mean? A judge might have somebody at the crib, but you know, they live so far or out in the suburbs and stuff, they be having guns.
But also, I feel really bad because the lady, like, not even a day or two ago, whenever she had her last,
24 hours.
yeah, she seemed viscerally upset about the fact of what she had to do. So I feel like it's just sad to
What she
see
had to
it.
side with Trump about something or something?
Yeah, so essentially there was a bill where it took
To
out.
keep the funding?
Yeah, it was essentially meaning that immigrants weren't going to be like illegal immigrants couldn't get health care or something like that along the lines. And I think she was trying to make sure they were trying to go back and forth and negotiate, trying to keep that, but essentially she couldn't do it,
It
and
came
so
down
she,
to her vote or something like that.
yeah, and it was like either they wiped everything else off, or she just co-signed with that, and they let everything else fly. So
Yeah.
she made the decision.
They definitely respected her though. They respected her. Everybody spoke highly about her. You know what I'm saying? But
I just seen on the TV that Donald Trump ordered the ICE raid all of the Democratic states. Oh yeah, he looked like
I'm not opening the door for him, bro.
You
me.
But
know
you know
what
what
though?
happened? I don't even think they opened the door. I think he shot
He
through the
shot
door.
through the door.
Yeah. But look at
I'm
this
gonna
shit.
be so real with you. I mean, I feel like nobody who sees like if I had a window, like I usually peek through my little window before I let people in. But if you didn't have that and you just heard the police and you're not thinking nothing of it, I could see how that would go wrong. I could see
Man,
it
man
going.
ain't talking real facts, bro. He said the police uniform alone would have been enough for me not to answer the door.
That's a fact, man. That's a fact. I'm already mad that the police at my door. What y'all want?
I know damn well I ain't
What y'all
calling.
want?
Right.
And then one,
Right.
and we out in the sticks. One, and he look like this. Nah, bro.
No, wrong,
Nah, bro.
wrong house, fam.
Nah, bro.
Right. I just read her soul. I feel so bad about the situation.
You know me, when the mailman come, I go to the door with my pistol and my
I
hand
ain't
in
letting
it.
him in, bro. No,
Hey,
sir. Look at him, kid. He look like an alien.
He do.
But if it's true
He should have
he
had the
shot through the
hat on
door,
or something at least.
yeah.
The mask, the bald head, and all that look crazy.
Did he have a police car? We don't know.
I don't think he
yeah,
had a
he
police.
did.
No, he had sirens or something. He did have some. He had to get up. He did
He
have
had,
something.
he had a car with the lights and the police emblem on the front
Yeah,
of it.
yeah. He had the sirens, the lights, and stuff. Yeah, he came tricked out.
Where he at now?
They just caught him.
Just now.
Nah, yesterday they got him yesterday around his house in the neighbor's yard.
All right.
Yeah, they got him.
And they made him crawl to him with his pistol in his
But
hand.
okay, we could get into that then. I'm gonna send you the video of that. Yeah, that's Melissa Hartman.
Rest her soul.
Out there in Minnesota, right?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Democratic state.
Did y'all president say anything about the?
Yeah, on his birthday,
Okay.
he spoke about it. He said he just got informed and stuff about the tragedy.
Did y'all president got me cracking up? Because that's not mine.
Regardless of what, that's your president.
He's not
Regardless of
president.
what.
I don't follow nothing.
Oh man, said the guy had a whole list, had a hit list.
Yeah, he had a hit list too.
Wow.
It was a few
And
people on his
all the
joint.
people he was trying to hit was Democrats. He hated Democrats. That's why we don't like him.
Nah, it wasn't that he hated Democrats. He was just
That's hate.
the ones
That's hate.
that had signed the bill, had went with what Trump, you know what I mean?
Okay.
He's a Democrat. He worked for them. He worked for Tim Walz.
Oh.
But it's
He
like,
felt like, he felt like they traded.
He's something too. He worked with her.
right,
He,
but I
he,
think
he
it's
ain't
like
no regular fool.
the
He in the mix too.
well, he's a Christian nationalist. Their whole ideology though stems from the idea that they have a certain agenda they're trying to push. But I would say anytime you go on to lynch to kill somebody, there's some hate there for sure. Cause I ain't doing all that.
Yeah, but not hate Democrats. That's what he said.
Oh,
He
okay.
hate
Well, I feel
Democrats.
you.
Yeah,
He
he probably hated her for sure.
What else would that be? It's only Democrats that he's going to kill.
yeah.
He
Like,
was
what's about the
he
Republicans?
was a Democrat.
What
He was a
about the
Democrat. It wasn't that he
Republicans?
was killing. It wasn't that he was killing her because she was Democrat. He was killing her in the list of people because of what they had
She supported.
voted on, what they supported on.
You mad at the wrong target, brother. That's all I gotta say. But anyway,
I mean, it's sad regardless. I ain't promoting that. That's messed up.
yeah, I don't
She
promote
ain't
no
deserve that.
killing. Nah.
I know that the last tip you told us last week is they said if you come with violence, we're gonna tell the people where to pick your body up. Why they ain't pick his body up from somewhere?
One thing about
They
it, man,
feel
I'm
like
not.
they said they were gonna kill people that's violent.
It's a slippery slope because at the end of the day, it's the same way that they killed the health CEO dude. You know what I'm saying? For doing his job. That's why I wasn't in support of that, even though y'all was. You know what I mean? I was acting like it was perfectly okay for him to kill. You know what I mean? Because of the health, what the health, who he was with.
United
United
Healthcare.
Health, because of the claims they denied and all that. That warrants him a death
Basically,
sentence. You know what I'm
what
saying?
I
I don't
was,
support that on nobody end. I don't care who it is, Democrat, Republican. I don't care. People shouldn't die for doing their jobs. People shouldn't be murdered for doing their job. I'm not with that. I don't care who it is.
in our previous setting,
I didn't hear what you said, Kirk.
in our previous, before this, one of the other sessions, murder is murder. I don't care how, you don't want to say one is more heinous than the next. He should get the same treatment that anybody else that killed somebody like that. He
Yeah,
should get.
but reality is he's a fucking celebrity. You know what I mean? He's getting millions of letters and all that. I'm not talking about the treatment. I'm talking about it shouldn't happen. That's what I'm
It,
talking
should,
about.
it shouldn't happen to nobody. Murder is murder.
We know
I'm a.
that. We know that. We know that. You just want to go against some shit I'm saying.
I feel that they should put him in the prison for 50 years without the possibility of parole.
Yeah, people shouldn't die for their job. Go ahead, Will.
Now, Speaker Emerita Melissa Hortman and Senator John Hoffman have been lawmakers for a long time.
And in a political world where it's easier to make enemies than friends, Hortman and Hoffman were popular on both sides of the aisle. Let's turn to Tom Hauser with more on two lawmakers that, Tom, you've covered for years.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I've had them both right in this studio as guests on At Issue. I've also interviewed them countless times at the Minnesota State Capitol. Melissa Hortman and John Hoffman have always been known for working across the aisle and doing whatever it takes to get the job done.
I therefore declare Representative Hortman duly elected Speaker of the House of Representatives for the 2019-2020 session.
Melissa Hortman was best known as the Speaker of the Minnesota House from 2019 until earlier this year. She became Speaker Emerita when Democrats and Republicans split power after a 67-67 tie resulted from the 2024 election.
Thank you.
Hortman was popular with groups like Moms Demand Action, who advocated at the Capitol for gun control. She was first elected to the House in 2004, but said recently the 2025 session was among her most difficult. Just this past Monday, minutes after a special session of the House concluded, she tearfully explained why she voted for a bill she actually opposed, to strip adult undocumented immigrants from the state's public health insurance program.
I'll continue to have health insurance, so I'm fine. What I worry about is the people who will lose their health insurance. I know that people will be hurt by that vote, and we worked very hard to try to get a budget deal that wouldn't include that provision. And we tried any other way we could to come to a budget agreement with Republicans, and they wouldn't have it. So I did what leaders do. I stepped up and I got the job done for the people of Minnesota.
That is just one example of her passion for public service.
Leave your ego in the hallway. Focus on the matter at hand, right?
DFL Senator John Hoffman is another example of a true public servant. He got into politics when he had trouble getting insurance for his daughter Hope, who had spina bifida. Hoffman worked long hours along with Republican Senator Jim Abler this past session, trying to craft a human services bill and protect people with disabilities and people in nursing homes.
Health and Human Services should be something that is not partisan, should be pragmatic, common sense.
Again, that was John Hoffman just last week. I've talked to countless lawmakers today who are, of course, heartbroken, but frankly, they're also very frightened for their own safety. We'll be reaching out to them throughout the evening and have more coming up tonight here on 5 Eyewitness.
They gotta get some kind of security or something, man. Word up. Some guns.
You can have guns in Minnesota like that?
They can. They can. But she's against gun control. That's what that's what that just said. She's against gun control. Yeah, that's sad though. That's sad. That's messed up. Um,
I thought she was for guns, mothers against guns.
okay, they against guns.
Yeah, I mean, the whole
She
thing
support
though
that,
is
so she against guns
control.
too.
That's the bigger thing about the problem is that there's not enough sense of people having like regulation. Guns are not the problem, but when we live in a society where we know there's so many unstable people or people who make reckless decisions, there needs to be some parameters that we do to make sure that less mass shootings happen or less violence happens every day, because we realize that yeah, guns itself is not the problem but the people are, and until we solve that, we not gonna stop having mass shootings, and we're not gonna stop having unsafe streets.
Didn't we talk about that on a way earlier episode? Didn't we talk about that on the earlier episode, BJ? Like, gun laws is for law-abiding people.
Yeah, yeah. People that people. Well, the we'll say like the black on black crime, and they're not law-abiding people.
All right,
You know what I'm saying? So they're gonna continue to get the guns off the street, and you know, what they call that
black market.
black market. Yeah,
Break into the pawn shop, steal them from
get them
breaking in
off the
cars.
trains.
That right before they even get to the store.
And the government will drop them off in the hoods. CIA will drop them off in the hoods by the crates. They will do that.
Yeah,
That's
there's
what
been
they will
several
do.
stories about that in Chicago.
Yeah, that's what they do. They do the same thing in Africa.
That's crazy.
That's what they do. They definitely did it in Chicago.
The only problem I have with the gun laws is that these automatic weapons that they have now, those are really military weapons. It should never be designed for the public at large. When they passed that amendment back in the 1700s about you have the right to bear arms, they didn't have automatic weapons back then. They were talking about carbines and they were talking about to protect your house. If they go back to these weapons, yeah, you should be able to have a gun, but maybe a long gun at home, maybe a 357 revolver. All of this, I got a pistol that got 100 round drum. What war are they talking about? You got a 16, 17, 18-year-old kid with a 40 Glock. They got 100 rounds in it. Come on, them are military style weapons. It should never been designed for public use.
Exactly, that's for war and combat, and the more of that that's off the street, the better.
Yeah. I ain't mad at that. If it was a way to do that, then okay, that's cool. Take away the assault rifles and stuff. What man said?
But see, the NRA is one of the most.
Hold on, Kurt.
They don't make guns or bullets in the neighborhoods that adversely affect the most.
What you saying, Kurt?
The NRA is one of the most powerful lobbyists in America. Those are the gun makers. They make a profit off of putting these guns or making these guns, knowing that it's going to our inner city. Yeah, there's some country boys out there that got some weapons, talking about they going deer hunting. You hit a deer with an AK-47 and it's going to shatter your meat.
Exactly. What type of meat you bring it home with holes?
Those guns are designed for mass killing. When you're in the jungle and you can't even see the enemy, you can shoot 200-300 rounds into those trees and you can make them scatter. Those weapons were never meant for the civilian life. Just like, the Army have M16s and they have all the automatic weapons. That's what those guns are for. It's designed to kill a lot in a very short period. It had got so bad that the police started, because back in my days, they used to just carry 38. But they were being outgunned because these mass gun control, the gun lobbyists.
They had the Tommy gun back in the days, though. Them niggas had Tommy guns. That shit shot 100 rounds.
They did.
Al Capone and them had the Tommy gun.
Yeah, they did, but
Street
it was,
sweeper.
Street sweeper.
Then they
it
came
was,
with the Mac 11s and the Tech 9s and shit.
Uzi.
but it was.
Uzis.
Well, all I'm saying is, yeah, there were some Tommy guns out there, but it wasn't, you know, saturated as it is now. Every 15, 16
It
year
wasn't. It
old,
wasn't as many gangsters. It wasn't as many people in the street as it is now. Everybody in the streets. Everybody's gangster now. Everybody. The young. It was the Italians and the Irish for the most part. Blacks wasn't even really on no gangster shit back then. It wasn't black people on no gang. You had sprinkles of it, but we adopted that shit years after the Italians and the Irish came here with their gangster and they mafia ways from back home, from Italy and Ireland. You know what I mean? We adopted gangster, we adopted from them. They were gangsters. We weren't gangsters. We was warriors and tribal. You know what I mean? If anything, but we got gangster
we
from them.
say that's 38, and we hit you in your head with it, then throw it to the side, and then beat your ass up with our fist. But once they start flooding, especially inner cities with Mac 10s, and everybody got a Mac 10. They trying to shoot the gun sideways like boys in the hood or something. That shit went out of control. That's when, you start hearing about all of these mass murders and, you know, it's some way they should be able to try to get all of these automatic weapons off the streets. Go
West
back to
Trenton
the
said he
guns
see
that
you,
they
my
were
guy. Keep
talking
going.
about under the
Oh, what's up, Wes?
Constitution.
Yeah. Lost my train of thought. Well, let's go to that next joint out the first one I sent you.
Yeah, man said facts, BJ. Another example of us trying to be like them to our
Yeah.
own detriment.
Yeah, for sure. We adopted that shit from them. They were the first gangsters. I want to play this video of this coon. Kurt, did you ever find out the person that you said got shot at the civil rights movement, got killed at the civil rights movement? You were supposed to be finding out who that was. And where the Jews and the Muslims at that was marching in the civil rights movement? I'm still looking for that.
I didn't do this. I promise you. I've been so busy with this grandbaby, man. She out of control. I gotta rein her back in.
Oh, no problem. No problem. I'm just throwing it out there.
I'll have it for you the next time.
Yeah, I'm just throwing it out there. Hey, if you was let me go through this because I just seen this too. You got 16 incarcerated fathers reunited with their daughters for a daddy-daughter. Let me see. 16 incarcerated fathers reunited with their daughters for a daddy-daughter dance in San Quentin prison. Fathers waited at the end of a red carpet while their daughters got ready and the prison chapel was completely transformed. Is that something you guys would do?
What you mean, San Quentin? San Quentin been closed down for years.
San Quentin is open, brother. San Quentin is in California. They never closed down.
You talking about the prison that's offshore? That's been closed, BJ.
That's Alcatraz, man.
Oh, okay, you're right. All right, yeah, you're right.
San Quentin, California.
Yeah.
Well, that's incarcerated, and let's not forget, San Quentin is a super max. That's a max.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, but would you have that? Would you do that? Would you do that daddy daughter dance or whatever? Would you have your daughter, come up there or whatever?
Yeah, I would.
You would?
Yeah.
What about y'all in the chat? Would you, Will, if you was incarcerated?
Absolutely not. I would be.
It's absolutely.
I'll be so embarrassed and hurt, and I'll probably cry the whole damn dance. 'Cause I can't leave with my baby. I don't left my baby out here. So I don't want you seeing me live like no damn caged animal. I'm cool on that.
Yeah, I'm not having my daughter come up there around these niggas, these the pedophile killing niggas, been all that. My daughter got a dress on and all that. Nah, bro. Nope. I'll pass.
You come see me when I was about that. You know what I'm saying? And I was letting them see what it looks like if you out here wild. That's when I came to the conclusion that I'm out the game. You know what I'm saying? So, but my kids were young. You know what I'm saying?
Jay said, "No, thank you."
No, thank you. Yeah, nah,
So
I ain't with that.
all my kids around me, every visit they came to see me, and I built a bond with my kids.
Will you see that first video I sent you?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's coming up.
No, I was making sure I just.
Join from IG, right?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Shaquille O'Neal claims Angel Reese is the best college player ever. She's doing stuff we never saw before. What's your
Nah,
comments on that?
I don't agree with that.
Shaq is a master marketer. She's his first hire when he got the job at Reebok. So he doing what he doing to bring them coins in.
Yeah, Shaq said some perverted shit about her too.
Yeah, how much she should put in them little shorts or something.
She should stay in them or something like that. Yeah, what you think, Kurt? Is she the best college player ever?
Nah,
No.
She most influential, maybe.
maybe
I guess so. Now I'm not.
influentially, yeah, because she
Most
have
influential.
social media. You know what I'm saying? And when you could go
I don't
viral,
want to.
you
My
know,
bad, Kurt. Go ahead.
it's people like what's the dude name that played for Indiana? His sister was a great basketball player.
Cheryl Miller.
Nah,
Yeah.
Kurt, stop it. Stop. Do not bring Cheryl Miller into this. People don't even know who Cheryl Miller is.
Right,
know who
because and you know why? There's a lot of them that don't know about the college girls basketball because it wasn't marketed
We know
like.
that. We know that. They didn't have cell phones. They didn't have social media. But right now, what we talking about is Angel Reese, the most influential player right now. We know it's not even to even put Cheryl Miller in there.
Because you said she's the greatest.
Shaq
You know
said
what
that.
I'm saying?
Shaq said that. Shaq said she's the greatest college player ever.
No, she wasn't. She's not.
Mom Duke said Reggie Miller's sister.
Yeah, of course y'all gonna say all the old heads gonna go to Reggie Miller's sister. All the old heads gonna go to Reggie Miller's sister.
I would go to Cheryl Miller or Cynthia Cooper before I go to
There's
Cheryl.
another chick that played out there that retired was a really good basketball player.
Hey, I'm gonna go with Candace Parker. Then I'm gonna go with Maya Moore. Cheryl Miller was good, but Cheryl Miller was tall and them girls was trash that she was playing against. She did put the bucket in the basket. She did score 100 points. Yes, I'm not gonna take that from her. But the level of competition, that's like Bill Russell and them niggas. You know what I mean? Them niggas was 7 feet tall. Wasn't nobody, you know what I mean? They was giants. Of course he gonna have 13 rings. But from what I've saw, he wouldn't get off in the league today.
He too little.
Not that he too little. He don't have the skills, and they was slow.
Okay.
So as it evolved, you put Candace Parker, you put Cheryl Miller in front of Candace Parker. Candace Parker dogs everyone. Candace Parker dogs everyone. 6'5" girl that running the floor, shoot the threes, got a jumper, handle.
Every once in a while, finish above the rim.
Championships, 2 championships, came into the WNBA, 2 championships, got rings in college and the WNBA, was averaging 25, 30. She was the first.
One of the few ones
Not
that's
the
nice
first,
to look
but-
at. One of the very few.
Yes, pretty. And then I'm gonna go with Maya Moore.
Yeah, she was different.
Cheryl Swoops and all of them was cool, but I'm looking at the skill set. The skill set is what I'm looking at. The skill
Remember when they ran that whole article about Caitlin Clark scored more points as a college player than anybody, but
Caitlin.
Caitlin Clark, but it was a
Caitlin
black
Clark.
woman. It was a black woman who actually had more points in college than her, and it was a big controversy about it. But they never gave that black woman the credit that they given, to Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, I see.
It was a black woman that had more points as a college player than she did.
I'm looking it up. Keep going.
So when you talk about, if we talking about influential, yeah, Ruth is more influential because she has a bigger platform.
So you talking about total?
Huh?
You talking about as a total, not average, the overall scoring leader in women's college basketball ever, right?
Yeah. It was a black one.
Okay, so if you Google it, it's Pearl Moore.
Yeah, it was somebody else.
That's her
black.
name?
Yeah,
Pearl Moore, she sound black.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's her.
Man said no, not even close. Shaq just marketing.
Pearl Moore. Damn, I just lost it. Pearl Moore got 4,000 and some change, but Caitlyn is right behind her. And did Caitlyn do 4 years?
She was right behind her, but they said, when she was in college, they said she scored more points than anybody in college.
Yeah, I don't think the girls be coming out early.
She probably did do, because she's 23, so she probably did do 4 years.
Jay said he ain't arguing with the new breed no more. Y'all hate the old heads.
I'm just saying.
Talking to you, BJ.
So Jay, Cheryl Miller and Candace Parker, who you got?
It's hard to pick anybody over. Cheryl was cold, bro.
She was.
She was good at her in her era. Yeah, she was the best.
Yeah.
But
see, that's not
league, though. They gave Coop the nod over Cheryl, even though they was teammates.
When Candace got to the league, she got the nod.
But see, that's like
you got
championship. Did Cheryl win any rings?
Hell yeah, they won the first 3, I think. When Houston Rockets.
She had Cheryl Swoops with her too, though.
She had Cheryl Swoops, Cynthia Cooper, and Tina Thompson.
Yeah, I ain't mad.
That was the first big 3.
I'm not gonna shit on Cheryl Swoops. I like Cheryl Swoops. I ain't gonna shit on her. But I'm saying as an overall package.
Man said Parker is faster and more athletic.
As an overall package of just skill. One-on-one.
You got her over Lisa Leslie too?
I got Candace Parker over all of them.
God damn.
Lisa was just tall. Them tall girls was before their time. You didn't have tall girls. You barely had girls hooping. Then you got these girls 6'6", 6'7". That's a given. Candace played against girls her height.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Candace had the skills, bro. Candace shooting threes and all that, going coast to coast.
Trying to compare eras is almost impossible because
Candace studied Cheryl. His favorite is Coop.
I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at that.
So Cheryl Swoops and Candace Parker is like Jordan Kobe? No, because you hands down got her over better than her though.
Yeah. I got people better than Jordan skill-wise. I'm talking about skills. I'm talking about overall skills, handles, jump shot, everything. Jordan just a killer. Jordan ain't gonna let nobody beat him. Jordan gonna take 50 shots his goddamn self.
Die trying.
He ain't gonna let nobody beat him. He's a killer, straight up. But once again, he was more athletic than all them dudes in his era.
And not only that, he
played harder. He studied the game and he got better. You know what I'm saying?
Jordan played in a different league than like Kobe and LeBron. Back in Jordan, they used to, you can't come up the middle with all that old dunking.
Yeah, I don't care. All of y'all say the same thing. I don't care about that. That's a foul.
Kobe played through that too.
And Kobe played through that, and LeBron played through that. LeBron played through Ben Wallace and them niggas, KG and them niggas. Them niggas was fouling. LeBron came in 03. Them niggas was still fouling. LeBron been in here 22 years.
In the new era, they played. You barely touch somebody.
Yeah, I'm not gonna argue that fact. Yeah, the last 10 years or something, but LeBron been in there with them with them still playing physical. LeBron came in at 17 years old, bro.
Bro, if Mike can handle
what was
it,
you doing
LeBron
at 17?
Yeah.
What was they doing at 17? LeBron came in at 17 years old. That's a child, man.
He came in a man child. I gotta give him that.
Child, 17 years old, handling his business. He took one of the worst teams and turned it around as soon as he got there.
Yeah.
As soon as he got there, turned it around. We ain't gonna, and Kobe, Kobe mimicked his game after Jordan, but I'm just talking about skills. I'm not talking about errors. I'm not talking about rings. I'm talking about skill for skill. I'm looking at the skills, the handle. Jordan didn't really even have a left hand like that. He couldn't really dribble like that. I'm talking about skills. I'm not taking nothing. Jordan is the GOAT, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not taking that from Jordan. I'm talking about skills. I got a lot of people over Jordan. Shit. Kyrie, T-Mac. I got a lot of niggas over Jordan.
You
You
think
said
Steph
it, though. That's
Kobe,
all he
LeBron?
needed was the killer gene. Because be honest, if you could get your shot off against anybody in the whole NBA, whatever shot you want, whenever you want it, is you really working on your ball handling? You don't need to have the ball handling of those little point
You
guards.
way more athletic than anybody. Couldn't nobody guard that
I'm
man.
up here.
Cut.
You already back on the ground. I'm still elevating.
And let's keep it real. They had a lot of old white men still in there. That nigga was dropping 40 on Dan Marley in them. Nigga, I'ma have 40 on Dan Marley.
Man, get the hell out of here.
I'ma have 40 on Jay. I'ma have 40 on Dan Marley, Jay. Steve Kerr and them niggas, man.
Man, Thunder Dan was half black, man.
Who's the other? Danny Manning and them niggas, man.
So
I'm gonna have 40 on them niggas, man. You crazy?
So disrespectful.
John Stockton and them. Jeff Hornacek. Get out of here, man.
Yeah, but he also had to play against the bad boys with Dennis Rodman and all of them cats that was
Yeah, that's
beating.
cool. Like, all that fouling is cool. You're gonna foul out. And I'm still gonna be here. I'm still gonna score. You're gonna foul out, and I'm gonna score.
Them same bad boys is responsible for turning Mike into a champion. They beat his ass back into the damn weight room, and he came back invincible.
It turned him into because he lost 3 years in a row to Detroit. And after that, he went on his run. He ain't never lost in the finals.
Nah, he didn't.
Who he listening to, Jay? We done with the 90s cat? Jay said you listen to that young dude on Facebook.
No, man.
We done with the 90s.
And he not young. He y'all age.
Oh, man.
That nigga old. That nigga about 50.
Who?
This dude that gotta pay his code. We done with the 90s. So Caitlin Clark is back from her injury first game. Oh damn, I want the Will, you got the video ready? Mosquito.
Yeah, it's ready.
Let's play that. Let's play this cool, man.
Can you find a flaw in anything she said?
Why would I want to belong to a party that takes pride in shedding innocent blood? Number one, as if that's not what God hates. Number two, as if there's not a black market for baby organs. And number three, as if abortion clinics didn't start in the hood. Because if you think Trump is bad, you should research exactly who Margaret Sanger was. But speaking of the black community, why would I want to belong to a party who's responsible for the foundation of the Triple K? But it's not just that. Supposedly in the 1900s, the party switched, right? But what never changed, what I noticed never changed, is Democrats' love for immigration and how they have always prioritized that over the black community. I mean, imagine every single Democrat leader helping you joke about what a black job is in 2024, exposing your ignorance on 1924 and how imperative the Immigration Act of that year was. How it was all reversed in 1965 with the Hart-Celler Act. How Congress refuses the advice of the Rockefeller Commission and the Hesburgh Commission, and how to this day they refuse to adopt the Barbara Jordan blueprint, validating every single thing that Dr. Claude Anderson spoke of generally, but specifically what Mrs. King spoke of in 1991 with her letter to Congress. Now look, I'm not saying that the Republican Party is perfect. No, nobody's perfect. What I'm saying is I saw with Malcolm X when he said that the liberals were the worst thing that could ever happen to the Western Hemisphere, but y'all ignore that, just like how y'all ignore LBJ saying, and I quote, I'm going to have voting Democrat for the next 200 years, and by God, 60 years later, I see no sign of recourse, but rest assured your vote is your voice, even if it is a whisper.
Come on, sister. She got to come on this show. The funny thing is that the dumb N-words or the gross spirituals, they don't have any evidence or concrete research surrounding the things that they're saying. But then you talk to the ones who are intelligent, who can think for themselves, whether they Republican or not. They always seem to have evidence-based conversation. It is asinine to me that we still have people supporting the Democrat Party as if they've always been good for black people. If they did so much, why are we still complaining? We've been voting for them. 12 of the last 16 years have been Democrat-led politicians. And we still saying we are suffering from inequality.
Yeah. What you think, Kurt?
We've been voting for Democrats 12 of the last 16 years, but the Republicans are the ones that's been in power for that 12 out of the 16 years.
Oh.
So yeah, we're gonna still be complaining because we Even though we vote, we don't vote in numbers. It's like we never are together about nothing. I heard somebody say that blacks can't organize for shit. They can't even organize crime. Every other nation, they got organized crime. They got the Sicilian mafia. They got the Chinese mafia. Blacks can't even organize the crime because they are so broken apart. They are so against what each other feel. Then why not create a third party and call it, for blacks only? And then make a movement on that. Because, we can't come together on nothing. I promise you. We need to get back to our own people. Fuck a Democrat or a Republican. They are two wings of the same bird.
Them last two I just sent you, Will, those are already on YouTube. Let's go to those too. I wish KC was here because, man, where KC at? Where KC at, man? Because
I think he went to Rabbit Hill.
he told not that Casey that be up here. Casey.
Okay.
Yeah, he said, didn't he say Pastor Jamal Bryant is his pastor?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't he say that's his church and all that?
Yep.
Yo, go to the last clip I just sent you. The second to last, the one that got Cam Newton on the front. Kurt, you seen Pastor Jamal Bryant talk about Cam Newton legs?
No,
How pretty his legs is? What?
I don't listen to Christian pastors for real. I don't go that way because I saw too many.
He said it, BJ, or they did an AI voiceover.
Play this clip, man.
Hold on.
Play this clip.
Say this to you. I've never said this.
Hold on.
What happened to Naughty?
Matter of fact, play the other one first.
Caitlin Clark?
No, I sent you two. One got Cam Newton on the front.
I got pretty legs up there now. That's Cam Newton.
All right, play that one.
Say this to you, and I've never said this to a man in 52 years. You got pretty legs, man.
No, this is not it. This is not the way. Sweet chariot coming forth to carry him home. Something wrong with that.
I have never received the backlash I've received in my entire ministry as I did for that demonstration of love. I called Bishop Allen and I said, in a small measure, and I don't mean this disrespectfully, in a small measure, I felt like what it feels like to be gay for a day.
Something is wrong with that. This should not come from a person who preaches from
this is
a
his
pulpit,
pastor,
who is a Christian pastor, supposedly. Christian pastor, supposedly.
Wow.
Get Casey on the line. This is his pastor that I said I did not like 2 weeks ago. I was like, I just don't like him. There's something about him. I don't know what it is, but now he gave me content. I don't like him. I don't like no man that tell another man he got some pretty legs, especially as a pastor. I never told a man this in 52 years of my life. Why would you start now? You got some pretty legs.
You want me to play the one where he actually sat next to Cam?
Yeah, because it's like a little longer, I believe.
Got you.
From the bit before he
Get some context. For one day, he wondered what it would be like to be gay.
Yeah.
I thought he's supposed to be speaking about God. What is he talking about? What is he talking about? I don't get that. That's not about God. That's about his sexuality. Dude, how you a pastor?
He trying to see if Cam was gonna go.
Yeah, he hit on Cam.
Absolutely, he did.
Clear as day.
Oh, that. Who hit on?
The man right there.
Oh.
The pastor.
Oh, he hit on Cam. Hey, he gay.
There we go.
God.
You got pretty legs, man.
Oh, man.
And they lanolated.
Man, listen,
I mean,
I'm back working out.
You put shea butter, Jergens.
Oh, you see that?
They glowing in the dark.
I'm just
Y'all
nourished.
zoom in. Do not skip leg day.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Sometimes you got to remind people, like, it's okay, but the work has to be done.
Oh, listen, it's evident. It pays
you
off.
know what I'm saying? I'm back eating right, trying to live right.
Yes.
I done purged my tongue since last speaking with you.
Yeah.
So I don't curse no more. I try not to curse no more. I had a
Wow.
flare up the other day, but
Yes.
who's keeping count?
I'm not.
Yeah, I just wanted to let y'all see that he really went in. He said that man moisturizes his legs and everything. Let's go to some of the comments. What y'all think?
Jay said, Jamal a little too sweet for me. Man said, hey, yo. And he agrees. He definitely made a pass at that quarterback. Yeah, he out of bounds for sure, man. Johnny said that's crazy.
What Cam doing coming to that man's show with them little trucks on anyway?
That's Cam Newton's show. That's Cam is interviewing him. That's Cam Newton's show. He's on
Put
Cam
on
Newton's show.
He knew that man was gay. He should have put on some
We
clothes.
can't put that out there, man, allegedly, but he's not gay, bro. We can't just say he's gay. He's not gay. You know what I mean? He hasn't come out the closet and say he's actually gay.
Johnny said the pastor tripping.
But he's definitely tripping.
The pastor's tripping for sure. But, hey.
So is Cam trying to be careful with his response so he don't get canceled?
You know Cam gonna be politically correct.
We would have had to go to commercial, bro.
You know he gonna be I just would have been like, yeah, don't play with me like that. What are you talking about?
Oh, they would have counseled me. I'd have
talking about my
cut
legs, man. What's wrong with you?
They'd
Changed the whole trajectory of the show.
Because I'm not into this man hitting on me.
Hey, July 2nd, fellas, is officially I'm making this official.
Okay.
Officially Makai Johnson Day. July 2nd.
Talk about it.
Makai Johnson was the guy that the Dallas shooter. Y'all remember the Dallas shooter? The military man?
Yeah.
That shot about 8-9 cops, killed 5 of them.
Mm-hmm.
They had to send the robot in there, the bomb and shit.
Yeah.
It's good. That actually the little documentary they got about him. He was young too. He was like 25 years old. The documentary they have, the black man they used to negotiate between him and the police or whatever, because they trapped him inside a building.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually a good piece. Y'all should check that out. It's on YouTube, but his name is Makai Johnson.
Okay.
Micah Johnson. He was born on July 2nd. So officially that's Makai. That was behind the two black men that was killed by the police in Minnesota. One was a teacher, and I guess the other one was who was the other one? I forgot the other one. It was 2 back to back. I remember that because me and Nicole, we went to the protest in Atlanta.
Okay. Jay said that guy was fearless.
Yeah. You remember him, Jay? He was a problem. Cause look, I was watching it. We was watching it live.
Yeah.
It was live, baby. When they was
He had military training?
He was in the military.
Okay.
But you saw the difference because on one play, the ones he killed they was trying to be heroes.
Okay.
They was running up on him. You know what I mean? Trying to kill him because he was behind a pillar.
Okay.
In front of a building.
Okay.
Right? So he got an AR or whatever. And he got his army fatigue shit on. But on this play, he came from around that pillar, and it was him and the one cop. He was behind the pillar, and he was behind the pillar. And he came around the pillar, and he went left, and let off like 2 shots, bang bang. But came back. I mean, he didn't even care. He just let off them shots so the police would come around there. Man, I was like, I'm surprised it's still on YouTube, bro. Because as soon as he let them shots, he knew the cop was going to take that bait.
Right.
He let the shots. He didn't care what happened over there. He came around the other side, and the cop went right to them shots. When the cop thought he had to drop on him, he came right behind the cop and slumped him.
Tore his ass up.
Yeah, slumped him. I said, ooh. I remember watching that live. I said, oh, damn. They couldn't do nothing with him. They couldn't do nothing with him, bro. They couldn't do nothing.
They sent the robot in.
They sent the robot in because he asked to use the phone to call his mother or something like that. And they sent the robot with the bomb. That's how they killed him. They could. None of them they had SWAT. They had them surrounded.
Yeah.
Nobody was going in that room with that boy, man.
Look like Noah. Hey, Will, look like Noah just said let her in.
Nora just turned her camera on. I thought she was trying to get her life
Oh yeah,
together.
she said let me in.
I've been waiting, Will.
Here we go.
Thank you, Kurt. How y'all doing?
Whatever, man.
You know,
Whatever,
I've been
man.
waiting. I'm outnumbered. I got these two Republicans here.
What's up, no?
Said, let me in.
Let me in. Yo, we was
They
talking
have
about
you in the prize like they be doing me. They be putting you in the prize and then they just get off what they gonna say. And after they done said what they gonna say, then here come Will. He'll let you in after her. They done say they got their whole narrative going.
No, I want to get into I want you to explain to me what's happening over there in Egypt while Egypt is beating up the activists and deporting the activists that's peacefully protesting. But let me find this clip of my man Makai Johnson right quick.
What up, Davon?
Of your man who?
Makai Johnson. I'm officially making July 2nd Makai Johnson Day. But I'm trying to find the clip.
You just said violence ain't the answer.
Huh? I don't care about none of that, man. That man died, bro. We gotta yeah, no. Man died for a cause. Mm-hmm. It ain't the answer. I'm not saying I'm not saying what he did is the answer. I'm not saying what he did is the answer at all.
Why would you give him a day?
Because he gave his life like everybody else did, the same way Martin Luther King did, even though he gave his life for the people too. Malcolm X, all of them gave their life for the people. Why would he not be honored by us? They honor Harry Truman and all them niggas. They honor the Confederate generals and shit that was killing black people. Everybody else get honored for killing. Why not honor our own? You so busy trying to be against everything I say, it don't even make sense.
I'm just saying, I'm trying to marry these people. The mistake is you like, you ain't gonna win being violent. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm just going according, is violence the answer or is it?
I just sent you the video, Will. Yeah, I never said violence is I'm gonna stand on that. Violence is not the answer. It never was. It never will be. You're not gonna win. Well, you tell me a time where, do you think violence is the answer for anything, Kurt?
Earlier, Jay put the comment up, America was built on violence.
Violence is the answer for everything.
Yeah, they won because they had the power. They came with the guns. Right. They had the advantage. So yeah, they won. Now,
Every win involves violence.
If you get the advantage, then you become violent. Do your thing. Right. But you're never gonna have the advantage. Right. So when has violence ever been, the solution or became turned us into some winners? Sometimes being violent is just better than the situation, the state you're in. I understand why the slaves were violent. Who wants to be a slave? I'd rather kill these motherfuckers.
Right.
And die. I understand why Nat Turner and them did what they did. John Brown and all them did what they did. Harriet Tubman. I get it. It makes sense. I wish we all thought like that. The Haitians chose violence. They won. But you see where they at to this day. They won the battle. They lost the war. But this Makai Johnson right here, no, you was a baby when this happened.
What year is this? Trying to fact check that.
2014 or something.
With NATO and European leaders to visit Dallas early next week in the wake of the deadliest day for law enforcement since 9/11.
Deadliest
5 officers were killed by a sniper during a protest on Thursday. 9 others were wounded. The gunman targeted them following the deadly shootings of 2 black men at the hands of police officers this week. Protests against those killings continued across the country Friday. Last night in Phoenix, police in riot gear used pepper spray against protesters, some of whom threw rocks at police. 3 people were arrested, 6 were injured. However, most of the country's protests were peaceful.
This morning, we are learning more about the gunman. Investigators say Micah Johnson was amassing an arsenal at his home outside Dallas. Johnson was an Afghan war veteran. His tour of duty ended in 2014 when he was sent back to the U.S. after a female soldier accused him of sexual harassment. Manuel Bojorquez is in Dallas with the latest. Manuel, good morning.
Good morning. With the gunman dead and believed to be the only person involved in the attack, the Dallas mayor has now said he believes the city is safe and can move on to healing. But given the horror that played out on these streets, that could take a long time.
This cell phone video
shows the gunman targeting an officer.
Check him out.
A gunfight ensues.
Oh, that shit happened too fast. You see how he came behind him though?
Goes down.
Man, that shit happened so fast, bro. He was laying their ass out,
Thursday
bro.
night.
They couldn't do
Just
nothing
as
with
a
him.
march in solidarity with victims of police shootings, attended by 800 people, was wrapping up.
We got a guy with a long rifle. We don't know where the hell he's at.
The shooter kept firing even as officers rushed to help the injured. Protesters ran for cover and provided almost instant live feeds of the ambush on social media. One of them was freelance photographer Michael Bautista.
I was literally maybe 20 yards away, 30 yards away.
Close enough to see an officer go down.
Yes, close enough to see the ricochets of bullets hitting off of glass and metal.
CBS News has learned that after the initial shooting, the gunman ran into a nearby college where he reportedly shot through windows and doors and was eventually cornered by police on the second floor of a campus building. Officers tried to negotiate with 25-year-old Micah Xavier Johnson, an Army veteran. Police say it was then that he made his motive clear.
The suspect said he was upset about Black Lives Matter. He said he was upset about the recent police shootings. He wanted to kill white people, especially white officers.
The chief says negotiations eventually broke down.
We saw no other option but to use our bomb robot and place a device on its extension for it to detonate where the suspect was. Other options would have exposed our officers to grave danger.
The mayor said there were others the night of the protest who were carrying rifles and wearing protective gear, but turned out not to be involved in the shooting. He also said parts of downtown Dallas could remain closed at least through the weekend. Benita.
Manuel Bojorquez in Dallas this morning. Thank you.
Yeah, so that's Makai Johnson, man. July 2nd, man. We honoring Makai Johnson, bro. Straight up.
So what do you do as a people? Just keep letting these people slaughter you? I mean, everybody say violence ain't the answer. Those cops didn't kill the black men that were killed, the two. But what do you do as a people? Just keep turning the other cheek, getting slaughtered, shot in the back for nothing, because you hanging out in the corner. Keep getting a knee to your neck. Keep getting choked out for selling cigarettes. Keep, you know what I'm saying? Keep getting followed home because somebody don't think you don't belong in the neighborhood. I don't know. I'm with Cuz, man.
I'll go last.
Go ahead, Kurt.
I'd always said that, you know what I'm saying? You know, when do we as a people come to the conclusion that them hitting us upside our head, we doing this peacefully, waiting for them to decide them hitting me upside my head hurt. You got to fight back some kind of way. They ain't listening to the peaceful marches. You got to fight back, or your son. Now I have to grow up teaching my son how to respond to police if they get stopped in a situation, and even that sometimes don't work. You know what I'm saying? You had the one guy that told the police officer, "I got a gun in the car. I got my registration," and they still kill. No matter how he responded properly to him, it just all. If you don't put training or diversity training in how they train police, how you de-escalate situations, you know, and instead of the first thing they think of is grabbing a gun, why not grab, say, like the stun gun or them rubber bullets? That shit'll stop a person. They grab their gun because, like we said, it's free kill. And they know that.
What you think, Noah? You on mute.
Sorry, I was zoned out. What y'all was saying?
What you think? Like, is violence the answer? Should people be fighting back the police?
Yeah. I feel like people only say violence isn't the answer when it comes to when it comes to resistance movement that are trying to resist something that is only in place because of violence. If people had that whole violence is not the answer attitude when people was using the violence to put these systems in place, I think we would have been a lot better off. But I don't think you can fight violence with conversation. I think you could try to obviously there's all the examples that I can think of in history where you fight violence with negotiations, you end up being at the mercy of the person you negotiated with for the rest of your life because they know that they're willing to use violence, they're able and willing to use violence, and you're not. And they're going to have that on you. And that's the story that you were asking me about in Egypt. That's exactly the reason that Egypt is now against Palestine, because Egypt is pretty much controlled by Israel and the US because of a peace treaty they signed to get their land back. When Israel took their land by force, Egypt took it back by talking to them and saying, please, let's sign this treaty. And now they're literally going against Muslims, going against their own people, taking away their passports to defend Israel, who was the person that was violent against them. You lose all power when you're only negotiating with words. Like, that's just the world we live in. If you don't have power and you don't have brute force, and you start talking back and trying to negotiate your way out of it, you're just weak. And people are going to take advantage of that weakness.
What do you think, Will?
No, I think you can't listen to the abuser or the violent offender telling you not to be violent while they whooping on your ass. Like that, what sense do that make? They gonna continue doing what they doing, and they telling you not to fight back. That violence ain't the key, right? I think that's how ain't that how the Italian gangs was started up in the up north to protect their own neighborhoods. The Black Panthers start carrying weapons to protect their neighborhoods, and that's why they did everything in their power to dismantle the Black Panthers. So because they didn't like that show of force and unity.
Yeah. I disagree with all of y'all. All of y'all talking some bullshit.
Just keep getting our ass kicked, huh?
Nobody's getting their ass kicked.
Killed, excuse me. Keep getting killed, slaughtered.
I'll give you two chances. Y'all give me two examples where, no, because I know two. I'm going to say Michael Brown and Philando Castile.
They told him to reach
two
for
innocent black men that was just killed by the police. You know what I'm saying? It was just, it's all of them are uncalled for, but it's certain things, it's certain moves that you make, it's certain things that you do that will justify these people killing you lawfully. You know what I'm saying?
So what did the lady do that was in bed and they came to the wrong time?
Yeah, they wrong. They shot the crib up or whatever, but Duke was shooting through the door or some shit like
back.
that too.
Yeah. I'm with him too.
They wrong. They wrong in that.
And they've been continually been wrong for decades. This
okay, everything could be wrong, but let me say what I'm saying. Everything could be wrong. I don't care about wrong and right. Do you want to die for nothing? Right. Are you willing to give your life for your cause? That's what it boils down to. That's it. Right. If you are, then so be it. Some are, some not. Right. Everybody can't die. If you're outmatched, outnumbered, it wouldn't be wise to choose violence.
To engage.
It wouldn't be wise to go to war with someone to engage in a war you can't win. That's not wise. How you gonna be violent against the #1 gang in America, the police? How you gonna beat them with violence? The Black Panthers were destroyed because they were violent towards the police. Yeah, it's wrong. You talking about, once again, you talking about right and wrong. Okay, we could talk about right. They all wrong, right? Mm-hmm. But them people are dead. Fred Hampton was killed while he slept. They shot the shit out of him, killed him in his bed next to his pregnant wife. She got shot too. Like 3-4 people got killed that night. All of them. Black Panther Party dismantled. I'm going to tell you one black group that hasn't had any issues though. The Muslims.
The Nation of Islam.
The Nation of Islam. They stay out them niggas' way. They do their thing. They get their money. They're not integrated with it. They do their thing. You know what I'm saying? And they're very respectful. You don't hear about no Muslims getting pulled over and getting beat up. Black Muslims. You don't hear about them getting pulled over, beat up, shot, killed, and all that. When was the last time a black Muslim got killed by the police? Beat up by the police? You know why? Because they're disciplined.
The Muslim,
they're disciplined and they're
community
respectful.
is united.
What happened?
The Muslim community, the nation is united nationwide.
Yeah, but they're still black. So the
But
police
they're
don't. When they come in contact with the police don't care about all of that. They're black. That's that. They don't care about you Muslim, Christian, and all. None of that matters. They don't care if you're Democrat or Republican. None of that matters. They're black. You don't hear about none of them. That shit happening to them.
And the reason why is because they're united and organized. They are together in their march. You know, they're not going at it violently. They are going at it from a logical standpoint. But trust me, if one of the Muslims got killed, believe me, it'll be a war that breaks out.
No, it won't.
Okay.
No, it won't. You be coming with these narratives that be wrong. They have killed Muslims, black Muslims. Malcolm X was mad about the black Muslims that were killed at the bowling alley in California. It was like 6, 7 of them. And I don't even think they was killed by police. I think they was killed by regular white people. Malcolm X wanted blood, but no. Elijah Muhammad said no. Nobody do nothing. They never chose war. The black Muslims, the only organization still thriving and was not dismantled, never chose violence, never chose war.
What did they choose?
The civil rights movement was successful because they didn't choose violence. They got laws passed. They're the reason why we're able to sit up here and talk freely now and go to colleges and do the shit we do now because of the people that got their ass whipped during the civil rights movement that never fought back, that didn't choose violence. So I don't know why we saying all this violence. But you gonna be violent towards cops? Because what? You mad? They pulled you over. You mad now? So you want to fight the police? Let me know how that's gonna work out. Now I could come across like Will was talking about the dude that got choked out for selling cigarettes on the corner and all that. Man, get the fuck off the corner. You want to sit there and argue with police, tongue wrestling again, another nigga tongue wrestling with police about what's going on the corner. Nigga, get off the corner. Them police come, every time them police came and said something about getting off the corner, I got off the corner. I'm not arguing with them about no corner. And it's a 40, 50-year-old man, Eric Gardner. That nigga was old. He was old. You sitting here, all that, and got choked out and died. And it wasn't right, but he's dead. Come on, man. The only thing I agree with what you said, Kurt, was teach these kids how to interact with the police when they do if they do get pulled over, any interaction. You train them. You got to train the kids.
But that doesn't always work.
I don't care about what always work. Nothing always work, Kurt. Nothing always work. But he got better chances. They got better chances because one thing about it, like I said, once again, I got more police contact than everybody. And I ain't never had no issues when I was being respectful. When they pulled me over and I ran the stop sign and that short white dude came up and was right here face to face with me by the time I turned my light on, and he like, yo, you know why I pulled you over? It's 11 o'clock at night, dark as hell on Steve Reynolds Boulevard, over there in the cut by the old Dave and Buster's. I'm on them back blocks. You know what I'm saying? You know why I pulled you over? Yeah, man, I ran that damn stop sign.
Damn,
Straight
I got
up.
pulled over right there too.
That they be sitting right there. Gwinnett County be sitting right there in the cut. They know
I didn't even see them, bro.
They know niggas gonna run this stop sign, bro, because it's nothing there.
Nothing.
I ran the stop sign, dropping Eli off at his mother house, and didn't see him till the lights came on. And I was on the phone arguing with my homeboy. And I said, shit, I hung. I'm like, man, the police just pulled me over. Let me, you know what I mean? And by the time I got my shit straight, I always turn the lights on. This is what you teach your children, especially at night. Turn the light on, roll all the windows down. Yeah. All of them. Off the rip. Now I'm looking for my wallet. My wallet and my armrest. Fuck. I'm not reaching in my armrest. I'm chilling. And by the time I did that, I turned, his face was right here. This nigga was like 4'11". You know, I'm in the Armada. This nigga face was right here, bro. I'm like, oh, yo, what's up? Man, you know why I pulled you over? I said, yeah, man, I ran the damn stop sign. I didn't even see the stop sign so I saw your lights, man. I'm on the phone arguing with this asshole, whatever. He immediately start laughing. Off the rip, he laughing. He like, all right, don't worry about it, man. He like, you got somebody doing you or whatever? I say, yo, I don't know what you want me to do, man. My wallet in the armrest, man. I ain't going to get I don't know what you want me to do. He like, man, you got any weapons or anything on you? I'm like, nah, I ain't got nothing. I'm on parole, man. I just came home. I just dropped my son off. I ain't doing nothing. I'm a truck driver, bro. I don't do shit. He like, man, go ahead, get your wallet, man. Get in the armrest, get my CD, my license. He like, oh yeah, you got a CDL, you got a Class A, right? All right, hold tight. Go back there, 20 seconds, come right back. Mr. Knight, I don't want to mess your license up, man. You have a good night, man. Enjoy the rest of your night. You too, officer. Thank you. Gone. 6 times. That was the 6th time I got pulled over in the last 2 years. 6 times I got pulled over, and all 6 times I got let go. All 6 times I was wrong. Speeding, red light, stop sign. Teach them children. I'm not going to sit here and tell them, yo, this ain't always going to work, but nah. You teach them to be respectful. You don't have to be scared. Yeah. That's the first problem. The black people are so scared, they can't even think. Nah, man, just be yourself, man. Just be yourself and be respectful. We already got an attitude because we pulled over. But you wrong, nigga. I don't care if you right. You pulled over, so what? They pulled me over, I didn't do nothing. They pulled me over like last month on coming down 85. He said I hit the lane. Pulled me over by Pleasant Hill. Yeah. I pulled over. I thought I was speeding, but I'd be having my cruise control on. I was speeding. He pulled me over. I'm just tired because I just came from Fairburn. It's like 3 a.m. Yeah. He come up, flashlight, 2 of them, both sides. What's up, man? Hey, man, you all right? You hit the white line? Where you coming from? Work. I'm tired.
Tired, bro. Right.
Yeah, I'm tired, bro. You know what I'm saying? He's like, oh, you been drinking? No, I just came from work. I'm not drinking. I don't even drink no more. I already got my DUI last year. I'm done. I'm telling them all this shit. I already got my DUI. Y'all won't get me again. Y'all got me last year. It's over with. I don't even drink no more. He didn't even take. He looked at my license and gave back. Have a good night, man. Let me go. Come on, man. I give you example after example. I don't be having issues with the police. I be chilling. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that's the only answer. That if you just act this way, because you're gonna have them assholes out here that's looking for, some action.
Any reason.
Yeah, and hate black people.
Yeah.
You got them. But I would train my child. I already do it with mine. I don't know what everybody gonna do with theirs, but I already do it with Eli and them. Call me. If it get too crazy and you feel like your life is in danger, call me. Mm-hmm. I'll be there ASAP. And be respectful. Yes, sir. No, sir. Mm-hmm. There's nothing to be. Whatever they ask you to do, I don't care if they telling you step out the car. Because niggas like to do that too. Oh, I got rights. I don't got to step out the car. Yo, step out the car, bro. You know what I mean? Make it home. And that's all I'm going to...
That's your only priority.
That's all I'm going to say on that. But I don't know any other examples where we won through violence. You know what I'm saying? I don't see us winning through violence in America at all.
We're not gonna win through violence, but I just never gonna agree with the abuser telling me how to respond.
What you mean?
Somebody kicking on your ass and they telling you not to fight back. That's just asinine.
So if the police is kicking your ass, what are you doing? Fighting back?
No, not me personally, because I gotta get home, bro. My family fucked up without me. I'm not telling nobody to fight back. I'm saying that person you gotta choose how you respond, not the person doing all the ass kicking telling you what you can do back, turn the other cheek. That's just stupid. That's like Kurt like to do. He like to change the damn subject, right? They say Steph Curry can't do shit but shoot threes. He's the best 3-point shooter ever made. Why the fuck would he stop? I'm not about to prove nothing to you. If this how what I do, this is how I'm gonna do it. You're not gonna say nothing that make me, cause you want me to change. You're not gonna make me prove to you I could do layups too. I'm shooting threes, bro. That's what I do. You're not gonna tell me what to do to change how I'm getting mine.
Well, at least just one time I agree with Will.
One time, that's a damn shit.
how is the person that's whooping my ass going to tell me how to take an ass whooping?
Okay, so if the police is whipping y'all ass, y'all gonna fight back.
If I feel like that him whipping my ass is gonna take my life, then I'm gonna lose my life anyway. So I'm gonna try to fight to stay alive. I'm not gonna sit there and let you just whoop me until I'm dead.
I gotta, the situation gotta be more specific than that.
Yeah,
You know
that's
what
what I
I'm
was
saying?
about to say. It depends on the
Yeah.
context
It
sometimes. Like,
depends on. I don't expect you to sit there and die. I don't
yeah.
expect you to lay there and die with a nigga on your knee and on the back of your neck and you can't breathe and you just laying there calling for your mother. Nah, I don't expect you to do that. Nigga got to wiggle or something.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try at least. I can't fucking breathe. I'm gonna try to get. I'm gonna try. You know what I'm saying? But once again, I'm gonna use George Floyd for example. He was in the cop car. This is another reason why I don't have these issues. Cause when it's time to go to jail, I'm going, and I'm actually freeing niggas. Get this nigga away from me, man. Yo, it's all mine, officer. Everything mine, man. He don't know. He not even supposed to be here. He's supposed to be at work. It's mine, man. Let's go where we gotta go, man. For real. That's just the truth.
I agree with you on that. If he say, put your hands behind your back, I'm putting my hands behind my back. But if he hit me in my head and then be talking about, give me your hand, I'm gonna still give him my hand. But if he's taking that violence a little bit too far, hey, look, he gonna kill me anyway.
So you talking about survival mode?
Yeah.
That's what y'all talking about for the most part. I understand survival mode.
It's a instinct or a reflex even.
I understand survival mode.
Yeah.
Put your hands behind your back, but you see a fucking stick coming at your face, you gonna put your fucking hand. A baby gonna do that, bro.
You gonna protect yourself.
Now you're not doing what he told you to do. So now you in a situation. So like BJ said, you gotta turn that light on, put your hands where they can damn see him. I don't care. We got rights, but you got the damn right to die too. So your only priority is to make it home.
I dove on the ground before.
For real?
And knew my ass whipping was coming. I seen it coming. I dove on the ground on the concrete. Dove. We had a fight in front of the lab. We had a fight in front of the lab with the police with the D's. Teenagers, all teenagers, bro. It was a big club called the Lab on Fulton and Tompkins, Nora.
I don't think that shit's around no more.
Where the Popeyes is, right before you get to the Popeyes.
Yeah, that's not around no more.
I was
live right by
coming
there.
up, minding my business. I was just getting to the party, and them niggas was fighting. Some niggas was fighting on the line or whatever, get the tussles. I'm still walking on. I see my homegirls here, so I'm about to get next to them and shit, see what's going on. And the police just start macing everybody. They just macing the girls and all that. So we getting mad because they really macing the girls. Like, yo, what y'all doing? You know what I mean? They wilding. So they go inside, they drag some niggas out. They got one dude. He's doing what y'all saying. He's fighting back.
Okay.
He's fighting. So they done pulled him in the middle of the street. He's by himself. All he doing is got his head down and swinging, but he fighting like a mug. And it's about 6 of them.
Yeah.
Whipping his ass. They keeping him up. But he fighting, dog. Yeah. And remember, we're 17, 18, 19. You know what I mean? This is teen night, Friday at the lab. They went to the point where we standing there watching this shit. People start honking their horns and shit. Know how Fulton Street and Tompkins right there get Friday night. There's nothing but cars and stuff. So we got tired of seeing that shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
You seen one nigga run over there and just swing on the cop, then another one come from somewhere. The next thing you know, man, we throwing trash cans at them niggas. And I messed around and threw a trash can and turned, and the D's was running up. Now they got like 3 different precincts here, and they saw me. They caught me red-handed. And that nigga, 2 big white boys was coming like linebackers, bro. I turned around and went through the cars, and like more was coming. It was like 6 on me. They all saw me.
Yeah.
I dove on the ground, bro. It wasn't, nah. They wasn't about to do me like they just did him. Nah. Nah. So I took a few kicks to my back, my head, you know, this, that, and the third. But they locked us up. They locked like 6, 7 of us up. Water hosed us in front of the precinct, 79th precinct. charged all of us as co-defendants, assault on police. You know what I'm saying? And that was that. But yeah, man, bro. Them days is over with, man. My bones repaired faster back then.
Yeah.
My bones don't repair as fast now. I ain't doing it. You know what I'm saying? Let's go to some of the comments. What they think?
Jay said we got to get our economics first, then assemble together. Jay, I feel you, bro, and I love you too, but we still fighting over Biggie and Pac, bro. Ain't no coming together. It's over for us.
Hey.
Maybe our kids could get it together.
That's one thing I agree with Noah.
What's that?
Get my money right.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm gonna get my money right, and we gonna have positions, and we gonna be able to make phone calls. Because one thing I do know is
every war needs to be financed.
I was arrested for armed robberies, caught red-handed, assault on a police officer. We crashed into the police. I wrote a statement confessing to the shit, and because of the connections my mother had and who my godfather was, I got 5 years probation, bro.
I see why she slapped you upside your head. Wrote a statement, bro.
Yeah, I was trying to. That nigga said I'll be home Monday night.
I really did not know this shit happens. Like the straight up lying, the straight up telling you good and then you not good.
What?
Is crazy to me.
No.
Like I don't know they could do that.
was
There's
on the
no
next bus, weren't
standard
you?
of honesty required. of
This how he got me though.
people. Like,
This how good they are. This how he got me. My pops was working in Wyckoff Hospital. He was the off-duty security guard at Wyckoff Hospital. Me and my father, I'm a junior.
So he know the name.
We got the same name. So as soon as he said that, he said, your dad, you're a junior. Your dad work at Wyckoff. I'm like, yeah. He like, oh, all right, I'll be right back. That was my man now.
Yeah,
Man,
yeah.
I spoke to your father. He on the way, man. That's
Good
a
cop.
good guy, man. That's my guy, man. Just tell me what happened, man. You 17 years old. You'll be home by Monday, man. It was Friday night.
What?
You'll be home by Monday. Just tell us what happened. You know, this ain't nothing. You all right? Nobody died. Da 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 da. Told him what happened. Made up a name who was with me and shit. Yes, that, and third, whatever. Shit, Monday night I was on the Rikers Island bus. What you talking about? Shackled, nigga, on the Rikers bus, handcuffed to a nigga that he got an armed robbery charge in the cab, straight up. But the same thing with like Noah's like, yo, I can't believe they lying to y'all. No, homicide came to me with a sheet of paper with his signature at the bottom, saying the whole what happened, how this person got killed. Said I'm responsible for it. I gave the dude the gun, this, that, and the third. And they came over there. They said, yeah, your brother already, he slid it just like this. Your brother already told us his side of the story. What's yours? And I said, yo, I don't know what he talking about. I wasn't there. I don't know what he talking about, man. He tripping. But, you know what I mean? I can't tell y'all nothing because I wasn't there.
That's a
They
fact,
play them
Jay.
games. They play them games. You see it on 48 after the next 48. They play them games. And this is before all of that shit. This is 2000. This is before all that. There wasn't no next 48 back then. This is
They
before
did that. They did that with the Central Park trip.
Exactly. That was in the 80s. They did the same thing. That's their go-to play. Turn y'all against each other, grab. That's why, see, I learned that from then. That's why I'm like, yo, I don't want no co-defendants. If I can free niggas, I'm freeing them. Let me go by myself. Take him. Straight up. I'd rather go by myself.
Wes says Islam is not just a religion. Being Muslim is a way of life. When you was talking about the NOI not having no run-ins with the police.
It's a lifestyle. They're respectful. They're disciplined. Black people lack discipline. We do. That's just a fact.
Not just interact, but understand.
As a race, majority, as a race, we lack discipline, bro.
And direct.
You know what I'm saying?
Did y'all watch the new Tyler Perry movie?
I'm gonna try to. I started it. I'm gonna try to. Yeah.
I don't think it was okay. I don't think it was that good of a movie, but I think the message in some of these Tyler Perry movies, and especially in this last one, is pretty good because like it really portrays the female cop as the hero of the movie, and they is this like really sexy actress, and they just dramatize that role a lot, and then she saves the day and saves the woman and all that. But I feel like this idea of like the solution being more Black people infiltrating the systems that are used to oppress them could be one of the easiest to, because the more you have, like the more the ratio of Black cops policing Black neighborhoods increase, I think the more likely these problems will be less frequent, at least.
But
And it's
we
always
have
gonna be
to
majority.
make it cool, no?
Exactly, and that's why
our
these movies
culture,
help. Honestly,
our
like,
culture frowns down upon the kid who wants to be a cop when they grow up.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We frown down on that. And that's why I was trying to get Kurt to understand. Man, we could get these kids, we could make it cool to be police because I know cool cops. I had cool cops interacting with me my whole time. My PO, his partner. My man, Aaron brother that used to come and just check up, hop out, the work for 79th and just hop out. I'll be in front of the building doing what I'm doing. He just hop out, come kick it with me for 5 minutes. Yo, what's up?
I do agree with you. There are good cops out there, but you also have a lot of bad cops.
Yeah, we're not talking about that. See, you go somewhere else. We talking about we have to infiltrate the police academy. We have to put more of our people in there. Like Noah just said, we need more black police officers. There's good and bad in everything. We need more black police officers. Yeah. We don't have more black police officers, especially in the hood, because these kids are scared to even say they want to be a cop when they grow up.
Yeah, and the black police officers can't just be
labeled as snitch.
There you go.
You know.
So we got to make it cool, which I kind of see it changing. I kind of see, and it's a lot of niggas that's coming home from prison that's why I do rock with Whack 100. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people hate him, but I rock with him because he is making the narrative of gang banging corny. You know what I'm saying? Gang banging corny, all that street shit corny. You know what I'm saying? Being a gangster you're a loser. If you're in the streets, you're a loser. You're losing. For real, you're losing. That's just a fact. The niggas with 9 to 5s got their own cribs. The person in the hood with a 9 to 5 got their own car. Niggas, and it been like that. We just overlooked it. It been like that when I was a teenager out there trying to get some money. The 9 to 5 niggas had the cars and stuff, chilling.
And it keeps getting worse over time too, because like their technology's improving, they're catching up to shit. There's cameras everywhere. It's not
cameras
as easy
everywhere
on the street as it is to be on the street back then. So that's why the people that are like the wins for people on the street now, they're so short term. Like you might make a lot of money in a year. Everybody gets caught. Even like with the whole scamming things, they're catching scammers way faster than they used to back then. Even a stupid check in your bank, the bank will shut your account. The postal office police are all over. Like they're just doing so much to stop this shit now that it's just not rewarding in the long term. No matter how much money you make in the short term, it could all go away overnight. It's not sustainable. Whereas you're 95, you could be making a quarter of that money, but you can have that money till you're 50, 60. You're not going to lose it. Nobody can take it away.
Guess what?
You're
going to get told on.
BJ, for your information, right now we try to get a money into security school. We're trying to go into security. But I think he's going to go more into
You said
IT. We trying to get him, instead of, remember I told you I was trying to get him into the trade school.
Okay.
Well, right now he's trying to go into it's like Allied Security, and they also
that's the Brinks trucks and stuff.
Yeah, and they also have training in IT, which is cyber security.
Yeah.
So
that's what he should do.
Well, that's what I told him. Get out of them warehouses. Them warehouses will wear your ass out.
Jay said it's a mindset. Maine says, I'm definitely I know my rights ass nigga.
Maine gonna get beat up. Maine gonna get beat up.
That's the thing. When the last time I got pulled over, Omar and his uncle was in the back of the car, and I was talking to the cop. First of all,
you being with O and Uncle Ty.
Already out of bounds.
I had my white friend in the front seat of the car, and they were in the back seat. I was
like that make it any better.
I was picking her up from Atlantic City. It was a 3-hour drive in the dead of night. It's 1 a.m. and I'm driving, and they pull me over, and the cop starts talking to me and all that, and I'm answering. Omar yelling in the back, "Shut up, or stop talking back, stop talking back. Why you keep talking back?" He's texting me, "Stop talking back, stop talking back." I'm like, what do you mean? I'm having a conversation. He's accusing me of something I didn't do. He thinks I'm drunk. He's telling me that some guy called the cops and said that there's somebody on the highway in Jersey. going in and out of their lane. I wasn't doing none of that. I was not drunk. I was not nothing. The guy tells me, we were trying to pull you over. The cop says, we're trying to pull you over for 10 minutes. So how you ain't seen our lights? And I go, what do you mean? They had their high beams on. All I could see, I was telling my friend right before they pulled me over, I was like, I don't know who this dumb fuck is, got his high beams on. I can't see nothing behind me. It was the cops. I couldn't even see the blue light. The blue light was fading in the like high beams. So they try to pull me over and they think I'm drunk because I didn't stop. And then it was the first time that a cop ever asked me to get out the car, and they did the whole like walk test. They was convinced I was drunk. And after I get out, they bring 2 more cop cars. It was like a whole thing. And the whole time Omar acting like I'm gonna get us all arrested because I'm talking. I'm like, this man is calling me drunk. How do I not talk back?
But this what you do. This what you do. Don't do the sobriety test. Don't do all that hopping on one leg, getting out. No, don't do that shit. Tell them, nah, I'm too tired to do all that. Just
Not
bring
to
the breath.
race them.
Just bring the breathalyzer. Just bring the breathalyzer.
I really wanted to because I'd never done a breathalyzer. I kept telling Omar, I always wanted to see what it's like.
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna do it, and then he keep asking me to do these like exercises, like I'm in 3rd grade PE. I'm like, what the?
I told Nora's over here like on a visiting trip at the fucking zoo.
She is a damn sure tourist, bro.
She's a tourist at the zoo.
I was just telling
walking
her.
through, looking at these goddamn animals having fun.
I've never been breathalyzed.
She said, I never had a breathalyzer test before.
I was just talking to Rel about that.
Owen them stressed out in the back. Uncle Ty's probably back home on parole. This nigga done did about 40 years altogether in prison. Ain't no telling what going on in they mind. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know what's going on. I'm like accusing him of lying because I'm telling him there's no way somebody called him and said I'm going in and out of lanes. I was driving straight and I'm on a highway. How the hell somebody picked up the phone and said this person driving crazy, got my license plate, and then the cops found me all of a sudden? I wasn't
I'm
doing
gonna tell
nothing.
you what it is. Y'all coming from Atlantic City. You got the white girl in the front.
Yeah,
You probably
and she
thought
was
you was a
smoking
white
weed.
girl.
Black people
2
in the
niggas
back.
in the back. Drugs.
Dude.
Yeah.
Drugs.
Transported.
Yes.
Either that or they guy was kidnapped.
Word up. Off the rip. But yeah, you ain't got to do that sobriety shit. You can do the breathalyzer.
The girl cop was putting a flashlight in my eye. I'm like, my pupils
Yeah.
dilate when you put a flashlight in them. That's how eyes work. And she
That's how
like
they work,
she
girl.
suspected my eyes. She was like, they don't look right. And she thought I was smoking weed because of my eyes. And then they made me do the walk test. I'm like, if you shine a flashlight in somebody's eyes, of course they're gonna dilate.
And see, that sobriety test, you're just leaving it up to them.
I mean, you're gonna fail that.
Yeah,
I did pass it though. I was doing.
Yeah, they'll
I
be
did
like,
real
oh, you
good.
failed. Come on, let's go to jail.
Bro,
That's why I don't
bad
take
as
that
my
shit.
ankles is, bro, I'm through.
Yeah, I don't take that shit. I always be like, nah, I ain't doing that. Bring the breathalyzer. You know what I'm saying? Except for the last time. We gotta do a reaction to my DUI video.
Jay said, "Oh yeah, that's gonna be our number one smash." Jay said, "BJ stories are gold." Bree says BJ needs to write a book. I responded. I've been telling him that we're gonna get to it this year.
BJ, I'll do interviews with you and I'll write it.
Bet.
I'm good at writing.
Bet.
before we do
Oh,
this.
we lit then.
Bet.
Jay said you remind him of Ray Lewis. You represent yourself. And Davon said Straw was good, but you're not gonna like it.
I'm gonna watch it.
Feelings, I don't know.
I'm gonna force myself to watch it.
I heard that movie Straw is like a remake of that one movie about
John Q.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know why everybody's complaining about his depiction of black women. I don't know if y'all talked about that before, but I keep
Yeah, I
reading-
thought it was totally something different. We spoke about it a little bit on the last episode. I think I played the clip. Did we play the clip of the lady talking about it? Probably did. But anyway, yeah, that's the narrative, Noah. And I started to watch it. It don't seem like it's going that route, but I don't know. I gotta watch
I
it.
really liked how they came off. Like the black woman came off, the main character, like Taraji Henson. She came off as a very good mother who just had a stroke of like bad luck in a row, but she always came off as like a really dedicated mother. And the other character, the female black cop, came off as a hero. So I thought it was a win for black
I
women.
was already getting frustrated when she was in the bank and all that shit was going on. She was already
It's a little
frustrated.
frustrating. It's
Yeah, I
frustrating.
was
It's a
already
slow
getting
movie.
frustrated. Like, what the fuck is you doing? Like, you can't be this stupid. Come on, man.
No, it gets worse. It keeps getting worse. The more you think she's stupid, like, she does a bunch of stupid things in a row. But she also, like, it is a bunch of horrible circumstances.
But people keep criticizing Tyler Perry and his depiction of the African American race as a whole. But like the example I just made about Steph Curry, this man made $1 billion off writing these exact same stories.
Yeah.
What motivation do he have to switch up? Like, y'all write something then.
Or y'all stop watching it. Stop making him rich off these movies.
Bro,
if you don't like
if I'm doing something that makes me $1 billion with a B.
They doing it.
God himself couldn't stop me, bro, from writing this damn movie. Like, what's wrong with y'all?
They can't stop watching.
Tyler Perry talk about in his movies is a depiction of, some real life stuff. I mean, who don't have a Medea in their family? I know I do. We had a Medea in our family, but her name wasn't Medea. We used to call her the Hawk. I mean, 80 years old and kept her sawed-off shotgun with shoot the shit out of her. But I mean, he just depicts some real life situations, that actually have happened in the black community. I think he's doing a good job. He has turned Atlanta into the black Hollywood. I know that.
We just hate our own people, bro. Hollywood made quadrillions of dollars off these dumbass stories. Roots, 12 Years a Slave, The Butler, all that dumb shit. Same shit keep us in poverty, keep us in slavery. We love that trauma. Y'all don't say nothing about them white people in Hollywood getting rich off our labor.
That's a good point.
They bigged up Black Panther because the whole cast was black. They got a check for acting. Them millionaires made tens of millions of dollars, and we think that's something to celebrate. Like we fucked up. Man.
They come in with a white Black Panther.
I heard.
They come in with a white Black Panther.
I thought they had a D. They was counseling DEI. Now you don't have a white Black Panther.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
What's the course at? It was good to see black women in professional positions to have compassion for a sister who was having a mental breakdown.
Yeah, and not just compassion, but also to show that she was like skilled at her job and like a good negotiator. Like they showed that she was also impressive at her job. Like I like the portrayal of that.
I'm gonna watch it.
So they didn't have a man come and save the day?
Nope, I love that.
Who was
it? Watch it.
The man it was all a bunch of white cunts like being total assholes. Like the white cops are all horrible, and the black women were black cops.
Who was the actor? Taraji P.
Taraji P.
Yeah, Taraji's performance was great. I think she's always great, but that movie,
she's gonna do her thing.
All of her roles.
Yeah,
but I don't know who that cop was. She's really attractive. I've never seen her before though.
So
what's her name?
going over to Egypt, man. Noah, what's up with the Egyptians, man, beating your people up, man, coming over there, peacefully protesting, not like America, peacefully protesting, beating them up and deporting them, sending them back to Canada and France or wherever they came from. You know what I'm saying? And I don't see nobody really saying nothing about that.
So basically, Egypt is and has been in a very tough position for a very long time. Since the Arab Spring, when everything fell apart, Egypt's government has been very... Egypt's leader right now, Sisi, he's like an authoritarian who basically took rule. He managed to win the popular vote by like 98% by just killing and exiling all of the other people that were trying to be president. So basically nobody actually likes him. He just became president by force. He's corrupt. And the area, there's only one area to get into Gaza that isn't completely controlled by Israel, and it's through Sina. Sina is like a port in Egypt that borders Gaza. So that's where the foreigners were coming to try to stop the food blockade to Gaza to give them food. And Egypt took a very harsh stance on that, and they were pretty much like deporting them, taking their passports and preventing them from going in. And that's because Sina is a very complicated piece of land. It used to be Egypt, like historically, and then Israel took it for like 10 years in the 70s. And that's why they ended up signing the peace treaty with Egypt that forced Egypt to acknowledge Israel as a country. So basically, they can't afford to have, they're under obligations under the peace treaty that they signed in the 1980s to make sure that no bullshit happens in that specific region, because Israel could take it back in a heartbeat. And the president of Egypt is just trying to keep things together, and he knows that if any pro-Palestinian protests or anybody actually breaks that blockade, one, it's a breach of the peace treaty and it's grounds for Israel to come back and take its land. And two, it might trigger a revolt against the president, and the president is doing everything to stay in power because he's an authoritarian who gained rule by force. So essentially, he knows that all of his people hate him. He knows that a revolution is possible. nobody like he really is very unpopular, and the person that was before him was a lot more popular than him anyway. So he's just trying to stay in control, and he's trying to make sure that Israel doesn't just come back and blow their shit up. Israel has been fighting 6 countries at the same time for like 2 years now. It's not like Israel isn't capable of launching a war against Egypt right now and taking Sinai. I mean, even when in the 60s, when Israel got their first win, Israel was always fighting 6 countries at one time and winning every single country. So Egypt is in a very difficult position because they signed that treaty that forces them to play nice, and they also depend a lot on America for their economy. They even get oil from America, which I didn't know before. I found out this week. But they really need to cater to America. If they start any shit with Israel, Egypt goes to shit. And Egypt is so unstable; like it's already crumbled twice in my lifetime. So they can't afford to have these foreigners breaking the blockade and risking a war in Sinai, which Israel could take in any second.
So Israel been kicking Jordan, Egypt, Palestine, Iran ass the whole time by themselves. Or no, they be having America.
Iran is the first time. This is the first time they play with Iran, and I think it might be the last.
Why you think?
Iran is strong. Iran is strong, and Iran is like
they don't seem strong.
They are strong. Tel Aviv is burning. Tel Aviv is definitely on fire right now.
Israel done knocked off about 4 or 5 of their generals, destroyed their military compound and a facility where they was creating nuclear weapons and stuff. They really hitting some shit. Iran is just dropping bombs and hoping that shit even get through.
No, that's just what you seeing on the news. You following headlines.
I mean, they have got a good.
Let Nora speak, because you obviously don't know what you see. Nora ain't saying nothing. You don't know what you talking about.
They have got a few. It is over exaggerated on the because on the media, on like the main channels, I haven't been seeing any of the videos of Tel Aviv burning or the impact on Tel Aviv. Like it's mostly
where's Tel Aviv? What's that?
The capital of Israel.
Okay.
It's mostly being presented as if Israel is whooping Iran's ass, when in reality, Israel has really good rockets and they have really good rocket interception.
Right.
So they have been able to target with precision leaders and nuclear scientists. They've killed a lot of nuclear scientists.
This what I'm saying, though. The reason why I said that is because when Israel bombs hit Iran, like you just said, they killed a lot of nuclear scientists, correct?
Yeah.
And a lot of military generals, correct?
Yeah.
I'm talking about in the last day or two.
Yeah.
Whatever rockets hit Iran, they killed a few civilians. They ain't really hit nothing.
But Israel won't tell you what they hit. If an Israeli general dies, like Israel will tell you that he died.
Okay.
Israel is their main strength is always in painting the narrative that they want to paint. So I feel like I can never trust the casualties in Israel. But the numbers always change. They're very they don't really say that shit. I'm like subscribed by email to a lot of Israeli channels just to see like media channels just to see how they're presenting it, and it's always like their media within Israel is crazy. Like they'll always just blatantly say wrong things.
But I know that hurt. That had to hurt Iran. And they killed their nuclear scientists and like 3-4 of their generals.
But
That hurt.
Iran
That's
still
a blow.
Iran has been launching like nonstop rockets, and a lot of Israelis are running, and they've burnt a lot of neighborhoods. Like the problem is Iran doesn't really have the precision rockets that Israel has, so they can't really do targeted assassinations of leaders.
Right.
But they're doing a lot of structural damage to Tel Aviv, the capital.
And also, what I just learned from you, Jordan is helping Israel.
So Jordan is just trying to protect itself. There's a lot of rockets in our airspace, and Jordan is doing every rocket that flies over Jordan's Air Force tries to intercept it because we don't know where it's going to land. They've already dropped a few in the desert. They've already dropped, that's the problem with Iran not having precision missiles, is that they're hitting Jordan.
So where your moms and your father and them at? They in Jordan?
Yeah, they're in Jordan. They closed the airport in Jordan, and there's been sirens blaring for like a few days, telling everybody to stay home and all that. But it's been no real damage to the city. They've been intercepting. Jordan's Air Force is really one of the best in the world. A lot of people don't know that it really is. The one thing they're good at, the one thing Jordan has is a strong air force, so they have intercepted almost all of them. But the problem is that they don't have the weapon, the tool that like intercepts missiles and melts them while it's in the air. So what they do is just they intercept it, and then the debris falls on the ground, and some of that debris does hurt people, but it's not really that big.
Shit, it'll kill you.
It doesn't like cause any structural damage or anything, and it's mostly falling in the desert because they only intercept them when it's like right about to leave Jordan. Jordan's like the city's like in the middle and the desert is towards the end. So most of them are just like debris of rockets is falling into the desert, which is not good, but it could be worse. It's definitely great.
Are you gonna try to get your moms and them over here?
Yeah, I'm trying to get my mom here. My dad could figure it out. He could go to Turkey, but my mom can't.
See what I'm saying? And that's how my Father's Day was.
My dad got all the money. My dad got a
That's
house
crazy.
in Turkey. My dad's good. My mom don't got that. My dad got an American passport. He could go frolic wherever he wants. My mom only has a Jordanian passport, so I got no reason to worry for my dad. He could have been left.
What you want to see?
So what's the solution to this? Iran got to keep fighting back.
Yeah, I think ultimately,
They
like
in too deep at this point. They
Israel
gotta fight.
started this. Iran didn't want this. Israel started this, but I think Iran might, if any country in that region is capable of standing up to Israel, it will be Iran. And I don't think Israel is winning that much at this point. I don't think they said that it was just going to be a few weeks, and Netanyahu was talking all that shit about. But I think ultimately. And in response to your earlier comment about how it's difficult to beat a stronger opponent with violence if you know that they're stronger with you, I think there's a lot of, do you know the Art of War book by that Chinese guy?
Yeah.
I think there's a lot
Sun
of,
Tzu.
Sun Tzu. I think there's a lot of lessons from that book that were really, that were used against all Arab countries by Israel before. And I think in this war, I never thought that Hamas, like the Palestinian party, were able to use any of these actual tactics to win. I think it was stupid for them to just try to go out after Israel when they didn't have a way to fight back. But I think at this point, because Iran was engaging in negotiations with America, and Israel did this a few days before, I think starting the divide between Israel and America, and starting to, especially because like, I think Iran's best strategy right now, which is what they're probably going for, is to just really start that division between Israel and its allies, because Israel is heavily dependent on its allies, especially America, to start that division, because Netanyahu is a particular president that can be taken advantage of because he's a power-hungry egomaniac. And ultimately, his only interest is in staying in power. Like 2 days before this shit started, they tried to like do a little motion to dissolve the parliament, and it failed. He survived by like a hair. So he's on the brink of losing power. He's doing anything to put the country in a state of emergency to hold on to power. And that's a really good time to kind of take advantage of that weakness, take advantage of a president that's not prioritizing his own people and not prioritizing his allies' interests, and start that division so that Israel loses some of its power. Because Israel by itself is not that powerful. It's really a piece of shit, tiny country.
It don't look like America got involved. It's really like
America replenished the Iron Dome with supplies and money and all that bullshit like 10 days before the shit started. America.
I'm talking about like really. I'm talking about like really get involved. They're at war. You know,
Yeah,
America.
but Trump is
If
making all
America
these
step
steps.
in, they gonna obliterate Iran.
The second an American airbase gets hit, and it's going to happen imminently because Iran is throwing rockets randomly. The second a U.S. airbase gets hit, America's going to start deploying people like on the ground there. And Trump has already threatened that. And there's a lot of...
We don't. So in other words, Trump is saying, listen, y'all do what y'all do. That's between y'all. Don't bring it this way.
But it's not this way. There's no reason for America to have air bases in every Middle Eastern country and then say, don't bring it this way. If the countries are going to war, not every rocket is going to hit every person you want it to hit. If America wants to have air bases in every Middle Eastern country, they have to be prepared for the fact that when war starts, America's going to get hit. And that doesn't mean that America's getting targeted. That means America needs to get the fuck up out these Middle Eastern countries before more people get hurt.
Yeah, I agree. I don't like America having shit all in people.
And the thing about that is people, when you look at the Middle East, and people always forget what the real narrative is. Okay, yes, America is backing Israel, but the Russians and Putin them have always backed Iran.
Yeah.
Always. Putin have backed Iran and China has backed Iran. Now you got China, Russia, and Iran in a proxy war with Israel and America.
Why? How do we have that? I don't see China and Russia doing anything to
You
help
you
Iran.
ain't gonna hear about it until you get all the way in it, and then all of a sudden you're now a lot of the congressmen have been talking about this World War III, and this could be the cradle that starts a World War.
I don't agree with that because Putin got his own shit going on. Ukraine just bombed the shit out of Putin, bombed all his fighter jets and with drones and all that. So
And
Putin,
that's more of a reason.
Putin before Putin gets involved with Iran and Israel, Putin need to answer to Ukraine for real.
And that's even more of a reason for him to back Iran because America is still giving Ukraine weapons. Or the UN.
That ain't. I don't agree with that, man. I don't
I'm
agree.
just talking about how
Forget
politics work.
Iran when we have a problem right here in our face. We have an issue right here with these people that's right across this border, right here. Forget Iran.
But you could say the same thing about Israel. Israel's been dealing with Palestine for 2 years, trying to take over, and now they start the shit against Iran. They pick a fight they have nothing to do with off of some bullshit Iraq has chemical weapons type argument that's completely bullshit and has absolutely no factual way to prove it. And they're starting this war while they already got their own shit to deal with, and they're doing both at the same time. Palestine is still burning. Palestinians are still being killed. Death toll over the weekend was 20. So
if I recall,
some countries can fight 2 wars at the same time, and sometimes it's a great distraction because when all the world's talking about Iran and Israel, I haven't seen Palestine on the news in like a week.
If I recall, I tried to tell you this was a war, and you was telling me it's not.
Now it's a war because guess what? Now there's another country involved. Now there's a country with a military.
I told you months ago it was a war. You didn't want to believe me. I said,
because it was not a war.
You didn't
There's
see
no
it.
way to fight back. It's not a war if you're fighting against a group. You can't fight against a group and then bomb another country and say that this country and the group are like affiliated because of some reason that only exists because of the fucking.
You looking at it as on a technical term type shit.
Not a technical term type shit. I just know what the Palestinian people are and I know what Hamas is. And you can't say that Hamas is the government of the Palestinian people. It's just a fake war. It's just they're fighting Hamas.
Yeah, it could be a fake war. In your mind, it's a fake war, right? But in Netanyahu's mind, it's a real war.
It's a
this
takeover.
Is a real
It's a genocide.
We at war,
it's extermination.
and he's declaring war on all of y'all. I seen that coming from jump. I saw that coming from jump. I kept saying,
And
y'all at war.
you see, the Americans was involved because remember, Iran was already had an agreement on their nuclear stuff. Donald Trump in his first term pulled out of that agreement and talked about now you got to negotiate an agreement. He created that, and then and right before that Israel bombed them, he was like, "Well, they better talk to us, or something bad is going to happen." Donald Trump knew all along that they was getting ready to bomb that country because they even saying now that Donald Trump said, "Well, I don't agree with you going after the religious leader of that country." But see, they in a war. Israel is not going to win that war. That's a proxy war, and it's going to spread throughout the Muslim countries.
You said what? Israel is not going to win that war?
They're not going to win it. They're not going to win.
I got 100 push-ups say Israel win.
Well, you already owe me 97. Matter of fact, can I get 3?
The Western countries are backing.
See, he want to bet me, and you already owe me. How you gonna negotiate and you already owe me? Can I get 3 push-ups, bro?
I got you.
Nah, I want everybody to see this. Since you're a man of your word, you talking that shit.
I got you. We about to. I'll do it before we.
No, I'm just.
We're about to head out, but I don't see Israel losing a war when all the Western countries back Israel. The Jews have a footprint in all the countries that matter.
I don't think
So
any
do
Western country
do.
wants to start another
so do you think
Iraqi
Russia gonna win? So do you think Russia gonna win that war against Ukraine? The Western countries are
Yeah,
backing Ukraine.
yeah. No, all the Western countries. Ukraine is Ukraine is not Israel. Ukraine is not Israel.
and
They'll sacrifice Ukraine. They're not gonna sacrifice Israel. They're not gonna sacrifice them Jews, bro.
Well, I'm not saying they're gonna sacrifice. When I say they ain't gonna win, I'm not saying that they're gonna lose, but they're not gonna be able to take no Iran over.
Iran is stronger than every other victim of Israel, and I think it's stronger than Ukraine. Iran has a lot of proxy groups in 5 Middle Eastern countries that
Iran
can do
can't
their
even
bidding.
hit
They have
Israel.
people in Syria, they have people in Yemen, they have people in Iraq. Iran has strong connections. Even the strongest people that have stood up to Israel, the Houthis that were blocking that were taking over ships, Israeli ships, and all that. They're also. Pretty
Okay,
much.
so if it's a joint effort, then okay, hopefully it helps. But
It
they
could.
can't
It really
even
could.
they can't even hit Israel. They can't hit them. Meanwhile, Israel is hitting Iran. How do they win? How do they win
Wait,
this?
let me pull up the actual damage in Israel caused over the past few days. By the way, also 80% of the leadership of Hamas has always been outside of Gaza, in the Gulf, in Qatar, in Turkey, trying to get funding from other countries. When I tell you, when I make that point that it's not a real country, it's a group of people that's almost entirely based outside, trying to get funding from other countries to fight Israel for the Palestinian people. And then Israel just takes it out on the children that are looking for starch and flour in Palestine. That's what I mean by it's not a war. Israel is fighting kids, and Hamas is outside getting money, getting weapons, and trying to defend this country this not even country, this occupied territory that's controlled by Israel. But Hamas isn't, they killed one leader inside, it's been 2 years of bombing. They killed one leader in Gaza. The other people that died in Lebanon, died in other countries. How you go kill the leader of Hamas in Lebanon and then tell me that Hamas is a real country or Palestine is a real
No, that's all the 52 fake. They hitting y'all with the 52 fake.
Oh,
Netanyahu just want to kill y'all all.
listen to this. If these so-called Western countries is so-called backing Israel, I'm looking at the headlines on Fox News. They
Oh,
say Donald.
you reading headlines. Okay.
Yeah, Donald Trump. They just had the G6 meet, the G7 meet, where
Okay.
all of those countries are coming together because of this war in Iran, and because they are against this decision that Donald Trump and Netanyahu made. They kicked Donald Trump ass up out of there. Get your ass on. You can't control what the fuck going on over here. And Israel is dead ass wrong for what they did. Because first of all, they already had an agreement with all of the G7 people that had to do with the nuclear stuff with Iran. Donald Trump took it out, and only now to say, well, they're gonna bomb you if you don't come up with an agreement with us that you already had.
All right, I get it. It's Trump's fault. This is what I'm saying. You still talking
Well,
about right
It's
and
never
wrong.
Trump's fault. It's 100% Trump's fault.
What I'm saying about Donald Trump is he need to get the hell out of that bit. He got shit going on over here.
You just said they kicked him out, so he's out.
BJ, why would the negotiator, Mr. Best Businessman of the World, back out of a negotiation, back out of a treaty, and try to do it, say for 6 years that he's going to try to get a better deal for America, fail at getting a better deal in America, and then end up not being able to control his ally to prevent a war? Isn't he Mr. Businessman? I don't want war. Why couldn't he prevent this war? Why, if he had left shit alone, if he had left the fucking treaty, Iran wouldn't have started building up its nuclear plant, and they wouldn't have done this. This all happened because he decided to back out of a negotiation thinking he could do better than Obama. And what did he do? Nothing. Obama was our best fucking bet. Obama was a much better negotiator than Trump. And I don't even like him that much for the Middle East. But also, let me just tell you what the Israeli casualties are.
We closing out, y'all. We gotta go. Go ahead, Noah.
The U.S. embassy was hit by a missile in Israel. Israeli Defense Ministry complex was damaged by a blast. The IDF headquarters was damaged by a blast. The Haifa 2 power plants and oil refineries suffered fires and operational disruptions. And then the rest are residential buildings and public centers. But they've been hitting, like Iran has been hitting back. And there's been 30 people dead so far and hundreds injured across various cities. It's not like Iran hasn't been doing anything. I don't think it's that uneven between the two sides at this point.
I'm willing to bet
until somebody whips out a nuke. It's going to end up in a nuclear bomb. There's
some
no
of Israel allies is going to get involved, man.
Who? It's not America. America's the first one. America's their strongest ally.
Them Jews is going to make some phone calls, man, backdoor. That shit start getting real sticky, man. Netanyahu going to be. He already violated. He's already indicted for war crimes, and the nigga's still making. Don't that show you enough? He's still the president over there and calling shots, and he's indicted for war crimes. It's the fix is in. That's what I'm saying. Y'all don't see it. I see it. The fix is in for Israel.
And Donald Trump being convicted by crime too.
Bro, you just keep coming back with Donald Trump. I get it. It's Donald Trump's fault. I'm just trying to see what's going on. I'm talking about Iran and Israel and everybody else.
I thought in one of our previous podcasts, you said you don't give a damn about over there. Why is he over there dealing with
because the topic is us over there right now. The topic is Iran and Israel.
We shouldn't be. We should be right here worried about what we got going on here.
We already spoke about it right here. We speak about everything. We globally too, baby.
He's going right here. Why ain't you about somebody else over there in the Middle East?
I take that out with Noah. What are you talking about?
He need to be down there in Mar-a-Lago having lunch with you.
What got to do with that?
I thought Noah was gone.
He said, take that up with Noah. Now I got to be responsible for America's bullshit too.
Yo, take us out, Will. We gone, man. I got to go to work, y'all.
I'm on the side of the Muslims.
We enjoyed y'all tonight as always. If we couldn't do it without y'all, we do it for y'all. Nor get here on time next time because Kurt be missing you. He can't even stand on his own 2 feet.
Noah be lying.
Well, BJ just stop stressing me out.
Noah said 8 o'clock.
Yeah, you need to just keep the video going. We're going to put you backstage now.
Y'all be easy, man. Good night.
Appreciate y'all.
All y'all, man.
All right.